Chapter 255. Genius 1 second. Remember love/go/little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. BMOS section M9J4*. We don't care about that. If they touch Night Sorrow, I will go directly to Su Huanqian and Old Ghost John, Lei Hua said. Yin Shui smiled and didn't say anything. She knew that Lei Hua valued Night Sorrow very much. Otherwise he wouldn't have said such words. Generally, even the Tianji Tower's patrol wouldn't be valued as much by Lei Hua. Night Sorrow was different. Night Sorrow had entered the Heaven rank assessment and would soon get a 2-star evaluation. This was extremely important to Tianji Tower. In the Eastern Shen domain, very few people paid attention to black, but in other regions there were still a lot of black. Perhaps there were too few people who opened the Heaven rank assessment, so Tianji Tower attached great importance to it. Let's go to Beishan City and explain things there, then go back. There's no need to look here. This guy will enter the 2-star evaluation next month, Lei Hua said as he stood up and glanced at Yin Shui. Night Sorrow arrived at Yang Lei's mansion. He called for Aoi and drove the Tianyu to Longquan Courtyard. Did it go well? Aoi asked. Very well. Tomorrow we will return to Medicine Valley and give the weapon to eldest senior brother. In addition, I will give the void pill I obtained to senior brother, Night Sorrow said. Night Sorrow made a decision. At present, among his senior brothers and sisters, only Gong Xian and Yang Lei had entered the 5th rank. In the past he had given Yang Lei a void pill. Now that Yang Lei had turned in the task and received another one, it was almost enough. Today he obtained 2 void pills and gave them to Gong Xian. As for the other senior brothers, they could talk about it. After all, Gong Xian needed it very much at present. But that's your future resource, Aoi said. It's fine. I'm sorry, 6th senior sister. Eldest senior brother needs you the most right now, Night Sorrow said to Aoi. Why are you telling senior sister this? Truth be told, senior sister is happy that you can make this decision. Big senior brother has always been senior sister and senior brother's backer. Take these 2 bottles of medicinal pills. I had originally intended to give them to big senior brother, Qingji said with a smile. There's no need. 6th senior sister, you can keep it. I have more. Night Sorrow smiled and did not take the pill. Anyway, you have to keep enough resources for yourself, Aoi reminded Night Sorrow seriously. I know. Night Sorrow nodded. Half a day after the 2 returned to Longquan Courtyard, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu also returned. Their journey was long, but Yang Lei's green eagle was fast. Unlike Night Sorrow, she didn't have to talk to anyone, so they wasted some time. 13. Take a look at my thunder sword. After returning to the courtyard, Yang Lei waved her hand and released a ray of sword chi. As soon as the sword chi was released, thunder roared and the sword chi flew far away before disappearing. As long as 9th senior sister likes it. What about you, Chiyu? Night Sorrow looked at Sikong Chuyu and asked. I can use the thunder sword, but it's not very suitable for me. Why don't you keep it? Sikong Chuyu asked. I don't need it. Take it. If there's a chance, you can exchange it for a suitable one. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Then I won't stand on ceremony with you. Sikong Chuyu nodded. Night Sorrow then told Sikong Chuyu that Tianji Tower might know about her, but they were willing to keep it a secret. That's good then. There shouldn't be any danger. Sikong Chuyu said. Everyone discussed returning to the Medicine Valley together. Night Sorrow, Yang Lei and Aoi went back. Sikong Chuyu stayed behind to guide Aoi and Yang Lei's disciples. Night Sorrow went back to collect the elixir resources. He wanted to collect the essence condensing elixir. He could use the essence condensing elixir after entering the 3rd level of the essence condensing elixir. He didn't have this kind of elixir yet. Night Sorrow and the other 2 rode on flying beasts back to the Medicine Valley. They went directly to the Taishan main hall. In the Taishan side hall they saw Gong Xian, Wu Qi and Huanan. Come back if you want to. 13 has improved a lot. Gong Xian said with a smile. It's okay. Eldest senior brother, I have a gift for you. See if you like it. Night Sorrow took out the thunder sword and handed it to Gong Xian. Not bad. It looks good. Senior brother likes it. Gong Xian took the sword and put it beside him. He didn't care what kind of weapon it was. As long as it was a gift from his junior brother, he would like it. Eldest senior brother, you don't value 13's gift. Why don't you try it? Yang Lei looked at Gong Xian with dissatisfaction. Try it? Then I'll try it. Gong Xian smiled as he pulled out the sword and was about to swing it. Eldest senior brother, don't. You should try it outside. Yang Lei quickly stopped Gong Xian when she saw that he was about to test the sword in the main hall. Gong Xian glanced at Yang Lei, then took the thunder sword and walked out of the main hall. Then he released a sword aura. The thunder sword made a crisp sound and a sword aura flew out diagonally. What kind of weapon is that? Wuxia asked in surprise. It's a rank 5 weapon, the thunder sword. It's a rank 5 high-grade weapon. 13, you're very generous, right? Always said with a smile. 13, thank you, eldest senior brother, Gong Xian said as he patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. I don't need it either. Here are 2 pills. Eldest senior brother, take them. Night Sorrow took out 2 void pills and handed them to Gong Xian. What kind of pills are these? You gave eldest senior brother such a big surprise as soon as you came back? Gong Xian asked as he took the pills. A void pill that can raise one's rank 5 cultivation base, always said. Senior brothers, eldest senior brother is now rank 5. He needs pills the most. I can only give them to him. Night Sorrow looked at Wu Qi and Huanan apologetically. 13, you think too much. We're only happy for eldest senior brother. We're happy that you have such a junior brother, Huanan said. How about this? 1 pill is enough for me. Give your 9th senior sister 1. Gong Xian handed a void pill back to Night Sorrow. He handed it back to Night Sorrow so that he could give it to Yang Lei. Night Sorrow's things could not be given to others. I don't need them anymore. Yang Lei stopped Gong Xian. You don't need them anymore. 13's pills will be given to whoever needs them the most. Gong Xian made his decision. Then I don't care. Eldest senior brother, you can make the arrangements. Night Sorrow did not take out the void pill because it would not be appropriate to give Gong Xian anything else. 13, the weapons and pills you gave me are too suitable. How about this? Eldest senior brother will treat you to a drink tonight. Gong Xian said with a smile. If eldest senior brother treats me to a drink, I'll definitely drink. Night Sorrow nodded. We also need to get together. Let's call all our junior brothers over tonight, Wu Qi said with a smile. That's a good suggestion. However, 6th junior sister will have to spend some money. Huanan agreed. There's something else I want to say. It's also a good thing. Oi looked at Yang Lei. At this time Yang Lei blushed. She knew what Okiji was going to say. Then Aoi continued, our 9th junior sister is taken. Chapter 256. Genius 1 second remember love go/little? Showa.net provides you with wonderful novels to read. Hehe. 9th junior sister thinks that 13 is very suitable, so she decided to wait for 13 to grow up. They will discuss this matter. Oi said. 13, you're amazing. You can even take down your 9th senior sister. I'm impressed. Huanan patted Night Sorrow's shoulder. 9th junior sister, you have good taste. I'm happy for you. Let's drink till we're drunk tonight. Gong Xian said happily. We'll have to tell master about this later. He'll be very happy. Always said with a smile. Alright, then I'll leave this matter to you. Gong Xian said. After that, everyone went their own ways. Without Night Sorrow and Yang Lei, there was nothing else for them to do. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu towards Danding Peak. He wanted to collect resources. He hadn't collected any for a few months. Also, he wanted to see if he could collect yuan condensing pills. If he couldn't, he would use his merit points to exchange for them. The elder in charge of distributing resources saw Night Sorrow and greeted him with a smile. Little 13, collecting resources? Yes, I want to use yuan condensing pills. Can I collect them? If not, I want to exchange for 2. Night Sorrow bowed to the elder that he didn't know. Of course. You're a heaven disciple. You can collect 3 pills. The elder said with a smile. Then I'll have to trouble elder to distribute the resources. Thank you. Night Sorrow originally wanted to collect 2 yuan condensing pills. However, he thought of something and decided to visit Qinzhen. He wanted to give Qinzhen the supreme grade yuan condensing pills that he didn't need, as well as the yuan breaking pills that he hadn't used. Besides that, he could also give the extra yuan condensing pills to Qinzhen. He knew that Qinzhen's treatment was low and he might not have enough resources. After collecting the resources, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to North Pole Peak. He went to the valley where Yen Beiji was cultivating. He knew that Qinzhen would be here. Qinzhen was really practicing his swordsmanship in the valley. Night Sorrow. Seeing Night Sorrow, Qinzhen stopped cultivating and ran over to greet Night Sorrow. Looking at Qinzhen, Night Sorrow was very shocked. That was because Qinzhen was in the 5th level of element gathering tier, and had already caught up to Chuning, Tang Tian, and the others. It should be known that Qinzhen had started cultivating much later than them. Well, I'm out of wine. You have any? Night Sorrow asked with a smile. Of course. Qinzhen walked to the side of the bluestone, took out a jar of wine from his storage belt and poured 2 bowls. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. Night Sorrow picked up a bowl and drank it. Qin Jin looked at Night Sorrow and said, I heard about your situation from Grandmaster. You can't afford to offend Crepe Myrtle's woman. Just avoid her. I understand. I'll take care of it. I've been very busy lately, so I haven't been able to visit you. Night Sorrow looked at Qin Jin and said. He felt that with Qin Jin's personality he wouldn't have many friends. He really should visit him more often. Let's not talk about this anymore. Drink. Qin Jin smiled at Night Sorrow and raised his bowl. After drinking for a while, Yi Shang took out the Supreme Grade Quintessence Gathering Pill, Quintessence Breakthrough Pill, and a Quintessence Solidifying Pill. Take these and use them. If you don't know how to use them, ask the Peak Master. AI Go Xiao say W. Chu. Alright, I'll take them. Qin Jin didn't stand on ceremony. He didn't want to stand on ceremony with Night Sorrow either. After all, they were friends. I also have a storage ring here. Take it. Night Sorrow took out Su Qinbai's storage ring. Night Sorrow, if you treat me as a friend, you don't have to give me this. Qin Jin rejected him. Night Sorrow nodded. Then he understood something. Although Qin Jin didn't talk much, he was persistent. Come and find me when you have time. Night Sorrow planned to leave after drinking a jar of wine. First song, alright. Be careful when you go out for training. Qin Jin reminded Night Sorrow. After leaving North Pole Peak, Night Sorrow returned to Danding Peak's bamboo grove. He was used to coming to Always Place. When Night Sorrow returned, he realized that Yu Yangyu and his senior brothers were all there. The Great Elder was there too. Greetings, Master. Greetings, Great Elder. Night Sorrow bowed to Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder. Not bad. No need for formalities. Yu Yangyu nodded happily. He was very satisfied with Night Sorrow's cultivation progress. What made him happiest was that Night Sorrow and Yang Lei were together. 13. Keep the goodies within the family. Well done, the Great Elder said with a smile. Then Qin Ji's maidservants served the food and wine. Everyone sat down and started drinking. Yu Yangyu didn't have many rules, so everyone was able to relax. While Night Sorrow was drinking, Yan Bebe was chatting with Qin Jin. Jin, you really have to thank Night Sorrow. He's been very good to you. The Supreme Grade Soul Gathering Pill is extremely precious. Even our Medicine Valley doesn't have it. This is the Soul Breaking Pill. It's used to break through the Soul Gathering Pill. This guy is really generous. Yan Beiji said as he looked at the pills that Qin Jin brought over. He even wanted to give me a storage ring. But I didn't think it was suitable, so I didn't take it. He didn't force me. Qin Jin said. You all did well. He knows when to stop. You also know that some things need to be done by yourself. If it wasn't for him, you would be the most outstanding among the new disciples. But don't worry. Just work hard. Yan Beiji said. I will. I'm not jealous of him. I'll work hard because he's my friend. I'm not his opponent. Qin Jin said. Good friends are for life. Having one good friend is enough. Yan Bebe liked Qin Jin's attitude. Night Sorrow drank until midnight. 13. Your eldest senior brother really needs to improve his strength. Let's not talk about it this time. You can't squander resources recklessly in the future. You'll need them in the future too. Yu Yangyu said to Night Sorrow. I know. Master, what's your cultivation level now? Night Sorrow asked. He had been wanting to ask this question for a long time. You don't have to worry about me. I don't need the help of pills. Congratulations, 13. Congratulations, old 9. Be good in the future. When I go back, you guys treat Sikong better. Yu Yangyu said with a smile. After that, Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder left. Then Gong Xian and the others left as well. 6th senior sister, I won't leave. I'll stay here. Yang Lei said. It hasn't been long and you're already reluctant to leave, 13. Alright. This place is no different from your own territory. Always smiled and also went to rest. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei enjoyed the night breeze in the small house in the bamboo forest. 9th senior sister, what's Master's cultivation level? Night Sorrow asked. Master has already reached the peak of the 8th level of the Void Inquiry stage. He can't use supplementary pills anymore. Yang Lei said. Night Sorrow nodded. He knew that at Yu Yangyu's level he indeed did not need supplementary pills. What he needed was to stabilize his cultivation level and state of mind. Chapter 257. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. I did. This time I was very shameless. I directly said that I liked you. Then I told her that I would respect her opinion. If she objected, then I would stand behind you silently and not disturb your life. Love go little say, Chiang Lei said softly. In fact, she also felt very sad when she said those words. Ninth senior sister, how could you wrong yourself like this? Night Sorrow said as he hugged Yang Lei. Senior sister, you didn't do it before. Sikong was in front of you, so you had to respect her. Fortunately, she was very reasonable and didn't say anything that would embarrass you. Instead, she comforted you warmly and said that we would be a family in the future. I really like the word family. The three of us will be a family in the future. Yang Lei said as she leaned on Night Sorrow's shoulder. Yes, we are a family. Senior sister, you should go back and rest. I plan to go to Danding Cliff. The moon was very bright tonight. Night Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate. They could climb under the moon. No, I'll go tomorrow. Stay with me tonight, Yang Lei said in a low voice. Night Sorrow nodded. He understood that Yang Lei was going to talk to Sikong Chuyu. Without knowing the result, she felt very stressed. After staying in the bamboo forest for a while, the two of them went back to rest and cultivate. 13 I still want to rest with you. But if 6th senior sister finds out, I won't be able to face her. I'm going to rest. After hugging Night Sorrow, Yang Lei went to the guest room. Night Sorrow went back to the attic. He ate the dragon bone forging pill and began to cultivate. When they were eating breakfast together in the morning, Always said, you weren't together yesterday. It's okay. 6th senior sister won't know anything. 6th senior sister, this is what you said. I will remember it. Yang Lei glanced at Qing Ji and said. Aoi smiled. She was very happy to see Yang Lei happy. After eating, Aoi brought Night Sorrow and Yang Lei to her wine cellar. 13 Here's the 100 herb brew and azure blood brew. Over there is the green carrot leopard bone wine that was brewed a while ago. You can pack some. Then I'll take a little of each. Night Sorrow took 2 jars of each. 13 It's fine if you take a little more. I'll brew some flood dragon bone wine in a few days. It'll taste even better, Always said with a smile. You don't have to be so courteous with 6th senior sister. 6th senior sister just likes to do these things. Usually she just tastes the wine. Come decorate some more. Yang Lei didn't hesitate to give Night Sorrow a few more jars of each. 9th junior sister, now you know how to protect your man. Not bad, Aoi said with a smile. Yang Lei smiled at Aoi and didn't refute. She liked this feeling. After leaving the wine cellar, Night Sorrow greeted the two and flew towards Danding Cliff on Tianyu. He wanted to go there to take the Yuan congealing pill and raise his true Qi cultivation to the peak of level 3 core condensation realm. The Yuan congealing pill and the Yuan congealing pill were both pills that could quickly raise one's cultivation. The drawback was that it was easy to cause instability in one's cultivation. If he cultivated on Danding Cliff, this problem wouldn't exist. When Night Sorrow arrived, he saw Yu Yangyu talking with Elder Su. Disciple greets Master and Elder Su. Yishang bowed respectfully. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation, I knew you would be here soon, Elder Su said with a smile. For the past 100 years, Elder Su had been guarding this place. Some time ago when he was about to die, Lu Qinyun came to guard Danding Cliff. After Elder Su broke through, he returned here again. Go. Yu Yangyu nodded at Night Sorrow. He bowed again and sent Tianyu to the side. I have the beast pill. Don't worry, I will take care of it for you, Elder Su said when he saw Night Sorrow was about to take the pill. Thank you, Elder. Night Sorrow nodded and went to climb the cliff. Valley Master, you have taken in a good disciple, Elder Su said when he saw Night Sorrow starting to climb the cliff. His eyes were full of praise. It's mainly because of this child's hard work. Thank you, Elder Su. I have to go cultivate too. After saying goodbye to Elder Su, Yu Yangyu's body flashed and disappeared from Danding Cliff. The Valley Master was the head of the Medicine Valley and had the right to use all the resources of the Medicine Valley. This was also the reason why the Supreme Elders and Elders of the Medicine Valley helped Yu Yangyu to the position of Valley Master. It was because Yu Yangyu had the chance to reach the Venerable Realm. Cultivating at Danding Cliff was one of the privileges of the Valley Master. After Night Sorrow climbed to 5,200 meters, he began to meditate. After his true Qi stabilized, Night Sorrow ate the essence condensing pill and began to cultivate. While absorbing the medicinal power of the essence condensing pill, he also used the energy from Danding Cliff to refine his true Qi. After 3 days, Night Sorrow completely refined the essence condensing pill and raised his cultivation to the peak of the 3rd level of the core formation realm. Night Sorrow stood up and thought for a moment. He decided to level up the heaven-covering hand first. He could have practiced the King Kong hand long ago, but because he felt that it would consume too much true chi, he didn't. The heaven-covering hand's strong points were its attack power and lethality. Its weakness was that it consumed a lot of true chi. If it couldn't kill the enemy, then it would consume a lot of true chi and would be defeated. After recalling the chant of the King Kong hand, Night Sorrow stretched out his right hand. A true chi vortex with a diameter of 2 feet appeared on his right hand. Then Night Sorrow struck a palm at Danding Cliff. There was an explosion and a rumbling sound from Danding Cliff. Yishang was also forced back 2 steps. It was very powerful. Night Sorrow realized that the King Kong hand was at least twice as powerful as the Mountain Suppression hand. However, it also consumed a lot more true chi. Night Sorrow reflected on it for a moment. Then he struck out 4 more times with the King Kong hand. His true chi could only strike out 2 times, and the myriad Dao Tome could only support 3 times. After using up all his energy, Night Sorrow sat down to meditate. When his energy recovered, he continued to practice his battle skills. For the next 2 days, Night Sorrow spent his time like this. This gave a headache to the late Core Formation Realm disciples who came to practice. They didn't dare to approach Night Sorrow because they didn't know when Night Sorrow would start to attack the mountain walls. After cultivating for 2 days, Night Sorrow decided to level up his true chi. After 2 days of steady accumulation, he felt that he could break through to the 4th level of the Core Formation Realm. The cultivation of the people around him was much higher than him. This gave Night Sorrow a lot of motivation to cultivate. His senior brother and senior sister were at least at the 4th rank. The 2 women closest to him, Sikong Chuyu, had already reached the peak of the 4th rank, and Yang Lei was at the 5th rank. This made Night Sorrow's desire to pursue strength was very urgent. Ordinary true chi leveling up wasn't difficult for Night Sorrow. After 2 hours, Night Sorrow smoothly entered the 4th level of the Core Formation Realm. Then he continued to stabilize his cultivation. Yishang decided to wait a little longer before trying to break the Danding Cliff record. Even if he rushed up a few hundred meters now, the effect wouldn't be obvious. Chapter 258. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow went down the Danding Cliff. At the bottom of Pill Tripod Cliff, Yishang and Elder Su exchanged a few words. Don't you plan to go up? I think you can break the record of the core condensation stage. Elder Su said with a smile. As an elder of the Medicine Valley, he hoped to see the rise of the new generation of disciples. Maybe after a while. It's meaningless to surpass it now. Either I don't do it or I do it best, Night Sorrow said. That's true. When the time comes, you'll even take down the elixir list. Elder Su understood Night Sorrow's mentality. Just as Night Sorrow and Elder Su were talking, Lin Jingyi appeared on the flying beast. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow nodded slightly to Lin Jingyi. When the incident happened, Night Sorrow was very angry. But since Lin Jingyi apologized in the Taishan Hall, he didn't feel bad. Seeing Night Sorrow nodding to her, Lin Jingyi was stunned for a moment. Then she bowed slightly in return. Night Sorrow rode on the Tianyu and left. Level 4 Core Condensation Stage? Looking at Night Sorrow's back, Lin Jingyi muttered. Yes, the speed of his progress is unmatched by the previous disciples of the Medicine Valley. The most important thing is that his foundation is solid, Elder Su said. Lin Jingyi nodded. She could also see that Night Sorrow's cultivation was solid and not superficial. Then she also climbed the cliff to cultivate. Night Sorrow's rise also aroused her motivation to improve. Night Sorrow planned to go back to the Bamboo Grove house to say goodbye to his senior brothers and sisters before returning to Danding City. One reason was that Sikong Chiyu was there. In addition, it was almost the beginning of the month. He wanted to continue clearing out missions and upgrade his mission plate to gold. Then his weight in Tianji Tower would increase again. In the Bamboo Grove, Night Sorrow saw Aoi and Yang Lei. 4th level of the core condensation stage, not bad. Yang Lei said with a smile. Yes, I ate a yuan congealing pill, Night Sorrow said. It's fine as long as your foundation is stable, Aoi said. Night Sorrow nodded. I've always taken 2 pills to increase my level at every level, so there shouldn't be any problems with my foundation. What do you plan to do next? Yang Lei asked. Back to the Dragon Spring Courtyard. 9th Senior Sister, are you coming back with me? What about you, 6th Senior Sister? Night Sorrow asked. Of course I'll go back with you. If I don't watch you, what if you do something stupid? Yang Lei said with a smile. I have to go there too. There are so many disciples there. I can't just leave them there. Don't worry, I won't hold you back, Always said with a smile. Then the three of them rode their flying beasts to Danding City. Night Sorrow went to Tianji Tower and found Enforcer Dong. Night Sorrow, it's not the beginning of the month yet, Enforcer Dong said in surprise when he saw Night Sorrow. I'll come again at the beginning of the month. Today I'm here for something else. This is the Thunder Sword, the reward of an unrestricted mission. This attribute doesn't suit me. Can I apply to change it to a water attribute 1? If you need any compensation I can give it to you, Night Sorrow said as he took out the Thunder Sword he exchanged from Lei Hua and Yin Shui. I'm not sure about this. I can ask the higher-ups, Enforcer Dong nodded and said. Okay, if there's any progress send the news to the City Lord's mansion. Someone will inform me. Night Sorrow handed his Thunder Sword to Enforcer Dong and left Tianji Tower. Night Sorrow wanted to prepare a suitable weapon for Sikong Chuyu. He had asked and found out that Sikong Chuyu had a water attribute. Cultivators were born with an attribute, but it could only be unlocked when they reached rank 4. Different attributes determined their future development path. For example, Yang Lei had a very rare thunder attribute. She could cultivate thunder attribute combat skills with half the effort. The wind and thunder sword technique was suitable for her. Gong Xian had a wind attribute. He could also cultivate the wind and thunder sword technique, but the effect was not as good as Yang Lei's. Sikong Chuyu had a water attribute. Weapons and combat skills that used water attribute were much more powerful. After rank 4, the more powerful one's attribute talent was, the more powerful one's combat power would be. After settling the matter of the weapon in Tianji Tower, Night Sorrow rushed to the Longquan Courtyard. When they arrived at Danding City, Yang Lei and Qing Ji went to Longquan Courtyard first. Yi Shang had entered the city to handle this matter, so he didn't walk all the way. After returning to the Dragon Spring Courtyard and handing Tianyu over to Little Six, Yi Shang went to the courtyard's main hall. Aoi, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu were chatting. Sit down. Seeing Night Sorrow came back, Yang Lei moved a bit and gave up the seat next to Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow smiled and sat down. After knowing Sikong Chuyu's generosity, he felt a lot more at ease. In the next few days, Night Sorrow cultivated steadily. Because there was still more than half a year before the alternate space would open. The higher the cultivation of the core condensation stage, the more advantages he would have when he went in. One day while Night Sorrow was cultivating the Killing Fist technique, Yang Lei came back riding the Green Condor. She didn't look very good. Ninth Senior Sister, what happened? Night Sorrow wiped his sweat and asked. The Qingshui sect planned to move a large number of people. Our Medicine Valley sent people to stop them. There was a fight. The Golden Flame sect also joined the fight. Yuan Tai, the Peak Master of Wangyun Peak, was injured. However, the Qingshui sect didn't succeed. This disturbance is going to be big. Yang Lei said. The Golden Flame sect is going too far. Are they going to interfere in the affairs of our Medicine Valley? Aoi said coldly. Qi Tianhua, the elder of the Golden Flame sect, said that the Medicine Valley can't stop them. The Golden Flame sect will support the Qingshui sect. The Venerable will come soon. Yang Lei said. They are bullying the Venerable of our Medicine Valley because we have just advanced. We are not as strong as their Venerable. Night Sorrow asked. That's what they mean. Grand Elder Hua can't control the 8-Dragon Cauldron completely. If he leaves the Medicine Valley without a spiritual weapon to protect himself, he will be easily killed by the veteran Venerables. This is their strategy. Yang Lei said. What's the decision of the sect? Night Sorrow knew that the Medicine Valley was in a passive position. It was mainly a fight between the Venerables. The new Venerables of the Medicine Valley were at a disadvantage in this aspect. Well, I don't know. Let's wait for the decision of the sect. It's so disgusting. Yang Lei was a little annoyed. Ninth Senior Sister, don't be angry. There is no dead end. There is always a loophole. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Isn't this a dead end? The Venerables of the Medicine Valley can't go to the Qingshui sect. How can they stop them? Yang Lei said. Of course it's not a dead end. It's easy to solve. I just don't know if the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley can make this decision. Sikong Chuyu said. Plus update D fastest up CQ. I don't understand. Yang Lei shook her head. Aoi also shook her head. She couldn't think of a solution. The current situation was too passive. If the Venerables couldn't fight, they wouldn't be able to stop the Qingshui sect from moving. Let's not look at the gains and losses. The Venerables and Masters of the Medicine Valley can go to deal with the forces of the Golden Flame sect in other areas. If you attack my area, I will attack yours. You fight yours and I will fight mine. There's no need to follow their rhythm, Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 259. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ninth senior sister, come back early, Sikong Chuyu said to Yang Lei. Alright, I'll go back and inform master about this method and then I'll come back. Chuyu, you might be able to solve a big problem. Yang Lei nodded to Sikong Chuyu. Riding on the green condor, Yang Lei rushed towards Danding Peak. Night Sorrow had nothing to do and decided to continue cultivating. However, Chioshu came over. Young master, Chenji Tower has sent a message to the city lord's mansion, saying that they would like to invite young master over. Chioshu bowed to Night Sorrow and said, Okay, I'll go right away. Night Sorrow calculated the time and knew that there might be news about the Thunder Sword. In addition, it was almost the beginning of the month. Night Sorrow had originally planned to go to Chenji Tower at the beginning of the month. Riding the Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Chenji Tower. This was the advantage of having the city lord's senior sister. In the past, it would take him more than 2 hours to get from the city gate to Chenji Tower by beast carriage. Now that he could fly on a demonic beast, the speed was much faster. The staff of Chenji Tower politely led Night Sorrow to a private room upstairs. This was ordered by Enforcer Dong. When Night Sorrow came, they must receive him with high standards. After Night Sorrow sat down and drank a cup of tea, Enforcer Dong came over with a mahogany box in his hand. Sitting in front of Night Sorrow, Enforcer Dong opened the box. This is the Clearwater Sword, a water-attributed high-rank 5 weapon. It's not as valuable as the Thunder Cry Sword. The Thunder Cry Sword is a rare attributed weapon, but in reality, there's a huge demand for water-attributed weapons, so the higher-ups decided to cancel it out. They won't give you any compensation, nor do they want your compensation. Baidu search Love Gong Xiao say www.achux.com. Very good. Sorry to trouble you, Enforcer Dong. Night Sorrow put the box into his storage ring and said, It's nothing. If you have any problems, you can come to me at any time. Apart from our friendship, the higher-ups have also given me instructions, Enforcer Dong said. Okay, then I'll go back first. I'll come back the day after tomorrow. Night Sorrow stood up and said. The day after tomorrow was the beginning of the month, so he had to continue with his quest. The situation is so tense. Do you plan to continue with the mission? Enforcer Dong asked. My cultivation base is too low. I can't help much at the moment. I should focus on my cultivation, Night Sorrow said. That's right. That's the truth. Right now you can't participate in this battle. Enforcer Dong nodded. Night Sorrow drove Tianyu back to Longquan Courtyard. In the training field, Night Sorrow saw Sikong Chuyu practicing swordsmanship. Her slender and graceful figure swayed in the training field. Her black hair danced with the breeze. It was a moving picture. You're back. Seeing Night Sorrow return, Sikong Chuyu came to Night Sorrow's side. Yes, I have something good for you. Night Sorrow took out the mahogany box from his storage ring and handed it to Sikong Chuyu. What is it? Let me see. Aoi came from the side with a rattan. She had just finished teaching the third-generation disciples. At this time, Sikong Chuyu opened the mahogany box. A simple and unadorned long sword lay quietly in the box. Sikong Chuyu grabbed the long sword and directly pulled it out. She flicked the long sword that was shining with a green light with her finger. With a soft hum, the Clearwater Sword bounced in Sikong Chuyu's hand. Where did you get a water attribute long sword? Sikong Chuyu asked happily. I exchanged for it with the Thunder Cry Sword. I exchanged it with the Empyrean Tower for a water elemental long sword. It should suit you, Night Sorrow said. Suitable, very suitable. Sikong Chuyu waved the Clearwater Sword and said. That's good. Night Sorrow nodded. Sixth senior sister, what about you? Are the attributes suitable? Night Sorrow looked at Aoi and asked. We'll talk about mine in the future. You can't exchange it with Tianji Tower anymore. If it's your own business, then Tianjin Tower won't mind. If you keep using your value in Tianjin Tower to fight for benefits for others, people will dislike you. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry, Aoi said with a smile. Since Aoi said so, Night Sorrow didn't force her. He knew that it wouldn't be appropriate for him to keep going to Tianjin Tower. At night, Yang Lei came back. Ninth junior sister, what's the sect's decision? Aoi asked. When I came back, the elders and master were discussing this matter in a meeting. I told them about Sikong Chuyu's idea and they were immediately enlightened. They've already split into groups to act. Yang Lei said with a smile. That's good. Oi nodded. Master and Great Elder agree with this idea. They think that if the Golden Flame sect wants to fight, then we'll fight in Medicine Valley. If the Golden Flame sect's Venerable comes out, then we'll retreat and continue to fight. Let's see who can afford to play. Yang Lei said with a smile. Well, not bad. Then I'll continue with my mission. Night Sorrow said. Master asked whose idea it was and I said it was Sikong's idea. Master and Great Elder asked me to express their gratitude to Sikong on their behalf, Yang Lei said. After everyone ate, Night Sorrow practiced spear and fist techniques in the training field for a while before he went to meditate and cultivate the Sage Cauldron Scripture and the Myriad Tao Tome. Night Sorrow always had a question in his mind. The highest level of cultivation on the continent was the 7th level, but there were 2 more levels after the 7th level of the Myriad Tao Tome. What level would it be? With such a question, Night Sorrow was particularly motivated to cultivate. After cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow woke up early and planned to go to Chenji Tower to accept a mission. He wanted to upgrade the token to the highest level in one go. Night Sorrow, I'll go with you. It's so chaotic outside. Sikong Chuyu was a little worried about Night Sorrow's safety. I'll go too. How about this? 13, you go and accept the mission, then come back to pick us up. Let's just take it as a walk. Yang Lei said. She was also worried about Night Sorrow's safety. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow agreed. He knew that the 2 girls meant well. Riding on the Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Tianji Tower. When they saw Night Sorrow, the disciples of the Medicine Valley and individual cultivators who were waiting outside Tianji Tower to accept missions felt helpless. This was because Night Sorrow's attitude towards missions was to wipe them out. Everyone, I'm sorry. This is the last time I'm doing a mission like this. I won't hold you up in the future. Night Sorrow cupped his fists at the people waiting and expressed his apology. On the internet, one had to know that most of the people who wanted to accept the mission were disciples of the Medicine Valley. In addition, individual cultivators mingled in Danding City. They also had feelings for the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow didn't want to make them feel uncomfortable. Uncle Master, you're too polite. We're fine. A disciple of the Medicine Valley's Yuan ranking said. Lord Knight, you're too polite. The individual cultivators also began to speak. They were originally a little unhappy, but they also knew that Night Sorrow relied on his strength to complete the mission. Now that they heard Night Sorrow's words, they felt relieved. Chapter 260. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Night Sorrow, Enforcer Dong walked to Night Sorrow with the mission list. Night Sorrow said to Enforcer Dong, I'll take some missions. It's the same as before. Don't waste time and don't have high difficulty. I'll take a few missions. Enforcer Dong nodded and called the staff to record the task for Night Sorrow. X Forever 9 free in charge NCJ Little Say A. After Night Sorrow chose 5 missions, Enforcer Dong said, these 5 missions are enough to raise your token from the silver rank to the gold rank. Then these 5. Night Sorrow took the list recorded by the staff, cupped his hands to Enforcer Dong and then left Tianji Tower. Letting the staff continue to receive the cultivators who were on their missions, Enforcer Dong returned to his room to write a letter. He had to report all the information about Night Sorrow as soon as possible. Riding the Tianyu, Night Sorrow returned to the Longquan courtyard, picked up Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu, and began to do the quest. A silver mission wasn't difficult for Yi Shang. As long as it wasn't a rank 4 cultivator or rank 4 demonic beast, Yi Shang could kill them all. Even a peak rank 3 demonic beast wouldn't be able to withstand Yi Shang's various trump cards. The process of doing quest was actually a process of sightseeing. The 3 of them were getting along better and better. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs. Since he was not in a hurry, Night Sorrow spent half a month to complete the 5 silver missions. Not bad. You completed the quest while playing. Yang Lei was in a good mood. After days and nights together, she and Sikong Chuyu got along very well. She knew that there would be no problems in the future. We have to go back. The Medicine Valley and Golden Flame sect are at war. We need to know the situation as soon as possible, Sikong Chuyu said. Night Sorrow agreed with Sikong Chuyu's idea. He was a little worried that Gong Xian would be fighting this time. The 3 of them rode their flying demonic beasts back to Danding City. Before they got close to the city, Sikong Chuyu rode Night Sorrow's Tianyu back to Longquan courtyard. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei arrived in front of the city lord mansion on the Green Condor. Yang Lei had something to deal with, and Night Sorrow went to Chenji Tower to hand in the quest. Very smoothly, Night Sorrow upgraded the silver token to gold rank. He also received quite a lot of quest rewards. With the golden token in hand, Night Sorrow arrived at the City Lord's mansion. In the City Lord's mansion, Yang Lei sat on the City Lord's chair and listened to the report from her subordinates. Night Sorrow stood aside and listened for a while. He also understood that after the Medicine Valley destroyed several branches of the Golden Flame sect, the Golden Flame sect did not send anyone to the Green Water sect anymore. The Medicine Valley was not afraid of the Golden Flame sect. Yen Beibei took the order and led people to surround the Golden Flame sect. This was a fight to the death. The Golden Flame sect's venerable could come and kill them, and the Medicine Valley could give them a peak master to kill. If they dared to kill them, the Medicine Valley would be even more ruthless and carry out a sharper attack on the Golden Flame sect's territory. In the main hall of the Golden Flame sect, Su Huantian sat on the main seat. Spreading Channy was furious. The Medicine Valley is courting death. They are courting death. Spreading Channy roared. Don't be angry. Can anger solve the problem? Su Huantian frowned. He was not satisfied with Spreading Channy's state. Venerable, how do you think we should deal with the current situation? Spreading Channy asked. You're asking me? I can go to the Qingshui sect's territory now and kill everyone in the Medicine Valley, but the Medicine Valley will attack the other territories of the Golden Flame sect. The Golden Flame sect will pay a greater price. I don't understand. The Medicine Valley has already rebounded strongly, but you still provoke them for a small Qingshui sect. Haven't you thought about how to deal with the aftermath? Su Huantian roared at Spreading Channy. Su Huantian did not know about this before. If he knew, he would not allow it because Hua Yunpeng was difficult to kill in the Medicine Valley's territory. As long as they could not do this, they could not destroy the Medicine Valley. According to the character of the Medicine Valley, as long as the Golden Flame sect invaded, they would definitely fight back fiercely. Spreading Channy supported the Qingshui sect and persuaded them to move. This was a slap to the Medicine Valley's face. How could the Medicine Valley not fight back? Spreading Channy's face turned red. He did not know how to deal with it. The Golden Flame sect was in a difficult position now. You guys discuss and tell me the result. If you can't deal with it well, you don't have to be the deputy sect master anymore. Su Huantian flung his sleeves and left the hall. He was very angry. The situation was obvious during the celebration of the Medicine Valley's venerable. How could he not be angry when Spreading Channy provoked the Medicine Valley when he was not sure? Spreading Channy's face was also red. At this time, the elders and higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect were all present. Su Huantian's words made him lose face. Spreading Channy also understood that Su Huantian was dissatisfied with him for other reasons. It was because Su Qinbai was killed. Su Qinfeng and Su Huantian reported about Su Qinbai's death. Spreading Channy kept stopping Su Qinbai from returning to the Golden Flame sect, which led to Su Qinbai's death. This matter made Su Huantian very angry. After all, Su Qinbai was already a late-stage Fifth Order. He would have a bright future if he returned to the Golden Flame sect. He would be the future pillar of the Su family. The strongest in the Golden Flame sect were the Su and Zhan families, followed by the Qi family. Currently, the Golden Flame sect had two venerables. One was Su Huantian of the Su family, and the other was from the Zhan family. The position of sect master and deputy sect master was occupied by each family. There was competition between them. The Su family had lost a good seedling, so it would be strange if Su Huantian did not have any complaints about Spreading Channy. After Spreading Channy and the other elders discussed, they came to a conclusion. The Golden Flame sect could only compromise. Under the situation where they could not take down the Medicine Valley, the Medicine Valley's disciples would be scattered, which would be a huge blow to the Golden Flame sect. The Golden Flame sect could not afford to fight to the death. However, the Golden Flame sect also decided to scatter and enter the Medicine Valley area, ready to attack at any time. The Golden Flame sect did not make any moves, but the Medicine Valley made a move. Yu Yangyu of the Medicine Valley led a group of people to kill all the higher-ups of the Green Water sect who instigated the rebellion, completely eliminating this malignant tumor. Su Qinbai, the spy of the Golden Flame sect in the Medicine Valley, was removed. However, there were still people in the Medicine Valley in the Golden Flame sect. The Medicine Valley was very clear about the Golden Flame sect's actions and thoughts. In other words, the situation has stabilized again? Yang Lei looked at Ao Yushan and asked. You can't say that. The Valley Master has ordered us to tighten our defense. The Golden Flame sect is also using this tactic. Ao Yushan said. Send out all the people in the city. Mobilize all the city guards as well. If you see any suspicious movements, capture them and kill them on the spot, Yang Lei ordered. Then Bai Qingshan and Ao Yushan went out to do their work. The bastards of the Golden Flame sect don't let people rest. 13. When you are strong enough, go and challenge the Golden Flame sect. If there are any good-looking girls, I don't mind if you snatch them back, Yang Lei said while knocking on the armrest of the chair. Don't. I'm happy enough to have you and Chu Yu, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Do you believe it? I don't believe it, Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said with a smile. Night Sorrow was speechless and did not know how to explain it. Have you advanced to the gold token? Yang Lei changed the topic. Night Sorrow took out the gold token and showed it to Yang Lei. Chapter 261. Genius Remembering Love in 1 Second Go? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Wait until I reach level 5 or level 6 before I go. It may be difficult for me to take down Lin Tianjue now, Night Sorrow said. Indeed, you have the strength to kill a level 3 peak monster, but monsters are different from humans and have limited wisdom. If Lin Tianjue fights you head-on, he won't be your opponent. But if you fight with him and compete in speed, your low cultivation will be at a disadvantage, Yang Lei said. I understand this, so I won't go to the elixir list for the time being. I plan to improve my cultivation first and then compete for the elixir list, Night Sorrow said his decision. Chuyu and I both support you, Yang Lei said with a smile. Thank you, Ninth Senior Sister. Thank you. Night Sorrow was a little moved. These two women really wanted him to stand up. The two asked around in the city lord's mansion and drank tea for a while before returning to the Dragon Spring courtyard. Night Sorrow didn't think about the task now. He just needed to improve his cultivation. In addition, he planned to return to Danding Cliff later. It was too chaotic recently. If there was any news, he would know at the Dragon Spring courtyard immediately. The next few days were quiet. The Golden Flame sect did not do anything, but everyone knew that the Golden Flame sect would not give up so easily. After all, the Medicine Valley had attacked several of their branches. Needless to say, they had suffered a huge loss and had been slapped in the face. Night Sorrow and the others cultivated quietly. Not at Danding Cliff. Night Sorrow took the best quality spirit congealing pill and dragon bone forging pill, so his cultivation speed wasn't slow. In a room in the headquarters of Tianji Tower in Dongshan City, Lei Hua, Yin Shui, and Ho Yuan sat at a tea table. Elder Ho, there's nothing to say this time, right? Just say one word, will you add a star or not? Yin Shui looked at Ho Yuan and asked. You make it sound like I'm a narrow-minded person. I have no objection to adding a star. Ho Yuan glanced at the materials on the table and said. It was about Night Sorrow. Okay, then it's settled. Send it to the headquarters, Lei Hua said. In the absence of the Tianji Tower's Eastern Xian region pavilion master, the important matters were decided by the three of them. On the black screen, the information would be sent to the headquarters of Tianji Tower for filing. That was because if a black person was recruited, they would be patrolling the Tianji Tower. Needless to say, the members who had activated the Heavenly Fate assessment were all the same. The headquarters had to know about them. Every step of their growth would be recorded in detail. Even their personality, every word, and every action would be recorded. Tianji Tower would analyze and judge the use of future personnel based on this information. For example, if a person had a dark personality and did things unscrupulously, then they might work in the law enforcement hall or the hunting hall in the future. If they did things in a grand manner, then they might be high-ranking management in the future. Don't look at me with those weird eyes. I also like this kid. The truth is the truth. No one can erase his excellence. Ho Yuan took a sip of tea and said, Actually, what puzzles me the most is, where did this guy get so much ice spirit blood essence? I'm sure he still has more, Lei Hua said. Deputy Pavilion Master, how did you come to such a conclusion? Ho Yuan asked. Looking at the size of the ice spirit blood essence, he took out a small one at the beginning. When he exchanged it with me and Protector Silver Snow, he took out a larger one. At that time he was distracted. If I'm not wrong, he was picking out smaller ones for us. Lei Hua thought for a moment and said, That judgment should be correct. I just don't understand. It's as difficult as ascending to the heavens for others to obtain a piece of ice spirit blood essence, but it's as easy as picking up a carrot for him? Yin Shui asked. There's also his actual combat prowess. If it weren't for the fact that I'm afraid it'll be difficult to convince the masses, I would really propose to give him a 3-star evaluation. That day when we exchanged a punch, I used the amount of true energy at the peak of the 3rd step. He only took a few steps back and there wasn't any problem at all. Lei Hua opened his mouth and said. That's right, Lei Hua said. If the Pavilion Branch Pavilion Master wants to give him a 3-star evaluation, I, Ho Yuan, have no objections. After all, an early stage of the 3rd step can withstand the Pavilion Branch Pavilion Master's punch without getting injured. It's proof of his excellence, Ho Yuan said. No need. I don't want the headquarters to look at our eastern profound region with special eyes. Lei Hua shook his head. The first time I met him he said something very honest, but it also contained a very deep philosophy. Whether others admit it or not, it's still gold, Yin Shui said with a smile. Since you've said so, I really want to meet this little guy. Isn't the Medicine Valley and Golden Flame sect making a big fuss? I'll go and take a look. Ho Yuan had an idea. What are they making a fuss about? Golden Flame sect is causing trouble now. Those people from the Medicine Valley will definitely bite back. If Golden Flame sect doesn't dare to fight to the death, they will definitely suffer. Yin Shui suddenly said. She was very clear about the situation in Golden Flame sect's territory. The Medicine Valley is too far away from the Holy Light sect. Otherwise I can help to pull some strings and be an ally or something. I like their boldness. Ho Yuan said with a smile. With his current level, shouldn't we reconsider the resources that should be given to him? Yin Shui said. You guys can decide. I don't know if those 2 who entered the space crack can gain anything. If they can perfectly complete the task, our Eastern Profound region will have 3 candidates for the 2 stars heavenly exam. Anyway, I'll go to the Medicine Valley to take a look. Ho Yuan stood up and said. What are you in a hurry for? We'll discuss the resources and you can just bring them over. Lei Hua glanced at Ho Yuan and said. It's nothing more than elixirs. We've already given him elixirs before the 4th step. If he enters the 2 stars heavenly exam, we can make him a custom-made weapon of the upper grade of the 5th step. But he's only at the 3rd step now. Isn't it too early? Ho Yuan sat down again. Forever. 64 free to watch small talksy, that's true. The other cultivation resources can only be obtained after the 4th step. The resources of our Chenji Tower will only be more advantageous than the other forces after the 4th step. Remember this. When the time comes we'll calculate everything together. Lei Hua thought for a while and also felt that he couldn't give Night Sorrow any help at the moment. Night Sorrow cultivated his true chi and the myriad Tao scripture at night. During the day he practiced the destruction killing fist, the wind chasing spear technique and the dragon leap steps, or rather the dragon soaring steps. The dragon soaring 9 heavens movement technique had 3 stages. The first stage was the dragon leap steps, which corresponded to the chi refining and essence gathering realms. The second stage was the dragon soaring steps, which corresponded to the core condensation and spirit severing realms. Night Sorrow had been in the core condensation realm for some time. Now that he had time, he cultivated the movement technique to the second stage, the dragon soaring steps. As for the third stage, the dragon soaring steps, it was for the void inquiry stage in the vast heaven realm. When Yang Lei had nothing to do, she would spar with Night Sorrow. However, Night Sorrow didn't use the Vajra hands and profound jade hands. The Vajra hands, which used the profound jade hands as the foundation, had great destructive power. Night Sorrow was also worried that he might hurt Yang Lei. The intensity of their sparring sessions had decreased. To be exact, the duration of their sparring sessions had shortened. Night Sorrow let Yang Lei attack with all her might to give him more pressure. Night Sorrow didn't want Yang Lei to be too tired. After Ho Yuan arrived at Danding City, he found out where Night Sorrow was staying. Night Sorrow hadn't come out for a long time. Ho Yuan felt a headache coming on. He couldn't keep waiting. Chapter 262. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Ho Yuan stood beside Qingshui Lake and detected that Night Sorrow was practicing his spear art. After observing for a while, Ho Yuan waved his arm and grabbed towards Night Sorrow. Following Ho Yuan's action, the energy around Night Sorrow's body was sucked towards Skywater Lake. This was Ho Yuan's ability to make Night Sorrow alert without alerting Yang Lei, Sikong Chuyu, and the others. Feeling that the energy around him was unstable, Yi Shan lifted his reincarnation spear and tapped his foot on the ground, approaching the celestial water lake. When he arrived at Skywater Lake, Night Sorrow saw Ho Yuan, who was wearing a black robe. Night Sorrow swung his reincarnation spear behind him and prepared for battle. He was worried that Ho Yuan was from the Golden Flame sect and knew that he was an expert. Ho Yuan's aura was stronger than Su Huandu's, but he didn't feel any killing intent. Therefore Ho Yuan sized Night Sorrow up and didn't say anything. Who are you? Night Sorrow asked. Shouldn't you call him Senior? Ho Yuan was a bit puzzled. Yishan was very guarded. If you aren't from the Golden Flame sect, then I can call you Senior and treat you to a drink. But if you are from the Golden Flame sect, then we have nothing to talk about. Night Sorrow looked at Ho Yuan and said, Is there someone like me in the Golden Flame sect? Don't compare me to them. Ho Yuan flicked the non-existent dust off his robe and looked at Night Sorrow. Junior has been impolite. Night Sorrow held his spear with both hands and cupped his hands towards Ho Yuan. I heard others bragging about you, so I came to take a look. Not bad. You have a steady mind. After all, I am your senior. Do you need any help? Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow and asked. In the future they would both be from the Tianji Tower. As a senior, it was only right for him to give some gifts. Senior, thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it. Night Sorrow said. Is there really no one who needs help? For example, killing the 2 venerables of the Golden Flame sect? Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow and said. That's good. If it's possible, then let's destroy these 2 old ghosts. After thinking about it, Night Sorrow also planned to probe Ho Yuan's bottom line. Ahem. I said for example. They didn't provoke me or you. It's not good to kill them directly. Ho Yuan coughed twice. An update / new fastest are previous. Senior is from the Celestial Terminus Tower? A light flashed in Yishang's mind as he seemed to understand something. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.aichuxs.com, very smart. I heard Yin Shui speak highly of you, so I came to take a look. You also know that Tianji Tower doesn't participate in local hegemony. Tianjin Tower won't interfere in the conflict between the Golden Flame sect and the Medicine Valley. Of course, if you touch the core members of Tianjin Tower, then you don't need to be polite. Ho Yuan looked at Night Sorrow in shock. Night Sorrow's mind was so clear that he could analyze the situation with just a few words. I understand. Would you like to have a drink at my place? Night Sorrow invited Ho Yuan after knowing his origin. No, I don't want others to know my whereabouts and identity. Ho Yuan said. Night Sorrow understands. Night Sorrow knew that the whereabouts of the people of Tianjin Tower were very mysterious and didn't want others to know. Ai Go Xiao Sei Ho Yuan looked at Yishang and said, The Golden Flame sect's people aren't venerables. They can't stay in Danding City and they can't kill you. If they are venerables, then take out your patrol medallion. If they dare to kill you, then they must be tired of living. However, you have to remember that the Extreme Heaven Tower protects the core members of the sect. If you are killed by someone of the same level as you, then you can only say that you are not strong enough. The Extreme Heaven Tower will not avenge trash. I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. That's it then. I don't know what kind of help you need. If you need anything, just go to the Celestial Terminus Tower branch and let me know. Don't have any misgivings. Keep my visit a secret. Ho Yuan instructed and left in a flash. Night Sorrow stood by Skywater Lake for a long time without moving. He used to think that Stage 4 was a master, but now he had seen too many masters. Why are you here? Sikong Chuyu came to Night Sorrow's side. Yes, I'm here to get some fresh air. Night Sorrow smiled. He didn't want to talk about some things because he didn't want Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei to worry. After returning to the courtyard, Night Sorrow didn't continue cultivating. His mind was in a mess. The current situation made his thoughts unclear. While drinking tea with Sikong Chuyu, Yang Lei, and Aoi, Night Sorrow organized his thoughts. If he didn't have a sense of belonging to Medicine Valley, Night Sorrow wouldn't be worried about the situation. However, Night Sorrow was indebted to Medicine Valley for nurturing him. Therefore, he looked forward to the rise of Medicine Valley. However, if Medicine Valley wanted to rise, the Golden Flame sect was a huge mountain pressing down on it. It was too difficult. 13. What are you thinking about? Yang Lei asked. Thinking about the current situation. Night Sorrow exhaled and said. You don't have to think so much. So what if the Golden Flame sect can destroy our Medicine Valley? If they can't, what's the point of jumping around? Yang Lei snorted and said. That's right. Night Sorrow, you don't have to worry. If the Golden Flame sect can't destroy Old Chow of Medicine Valley, that day will not change. Sikong Chuyu said. That's true. It seems that my worries were unnecessary. I plan to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate and improve my cultivation. I want to break through to the core formation realm. Also, I want to spar with the disciples of Medicine Valley on the elixir ranking to feel the gap between us. Night Sorrow said his thoughts. Then I can't go back with you. I have to stay in Danding City for a while. Yang Lei thought for a moment and said. Although she wanted to accompany Night Sorrow, Medicine Valley was too important in Danding City. She couldn't afford to lose it. Then I'll go with you. I'll cultivate at the bamboo forest peak. You'll have hot tea to drink when you're done. Sikong Chiyu said with a smile. Okay, then it's settled. Sixth senior sister, you can continue to stay here. Night Sorrow said to Aoi. That's fine too. I won't accompany you guys to run around. Let the disciples stay here and cultivate. Once their cultivation improves, it will be more convenient for them to go to Danding City to do missions, Qingji said. After making the decision, Night Sorrow took Sikong Chiyu and flew to Medicine Valley on a Tianyu. Chiyu, are you used to staying here? Night Sorrow asked with his arms around Sikong Chiyu. It's okay. Sixth senior sister and ninth senior sister are easy to get along with. I like it here. Although there are fights, I don't have to worry about the people around me. I feel at ease. Sikong Chiyu leaned on Night Sorrow and said. When the situation here calms down, I'll go with you to see your parents and ask them to let me take you. I'll make your family acknowledge me. Night Sorrow took a deep breath and said. I know. My parents will like you too. As for acknowledgement, it's fine as long as I acknowledge you. It's too hard to count on my family. There's almost no hope. Sikong Chiyu shook his head and said. I'll work hard to improve my cultivation. Night Sorrow reached out and stroked Sikong Chiyu's hair. Chapter 263. Genius 1 second. Remember love, go, Xiao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Night Sorrow was silent, because what Sikong Chiyu said was true. Jiyu's family was a top family in the Qingtian region with a long history. There were venerables in the family, and Jiyu Hao himself was very strong. Sikong Chiyu turned around and looked at Night Sorrow. Jiyu Hao has nothing to be proud of in front of you. Everything he has is given to him by his family. Without the support of his family he is nothing. He is already an old man and he is so annoying. Looking at Sikong Chiyu's eyes, which could see through people's souls, Night Sorrow made a promise. That is also a capital. However, as long as I am alive I will not let go of you. Don't talk nonsense. What do you mean by dying? I won't allow you to say that. You have to take care of yourself so that we can always be together. Sikong Chiyu's cheeks turned red. She was not used to such explicit words. Night Sorrow nodded and did not say anything, but he knew in his heart that if this continued, Sikong Chiyu would always be by his side, but without a proper reason, it could be said that she had left the family and betrayed it. Even if she did not say it, he still felt pressure in his heart. If he wanted Sikong Chiyu to stay by his side comfortably, Night Sorrow had to openly go to the Sikong family. Although marriage required a man and a woman to be happy, the elders' orders were also indispensable. Otherwise they would bear a stain such as being accused of eloping. Love, go, Xiao Ashua Ashao Ashao Ashua www.atux. Yang Lei's side did not have any problems, because she did not have a family. Yu could make the decision. A teacher for a day is a father for life. This was open and above board, but Sikong Chiyu could not. After returning to the bamboo forest peak, Night Sorrow and Sikong Chiyu found that the place was very clean. Obviously there were servant disciples here every day to clean it. After tidying up a little, the two of them could settle down. After packing up, Night Sorrow planned to go to Danding Cliff to cultivate and improve his cultivation. Go. I'll wait for you here. Sikong Chiyu said with a smile. That's right, said Sikong Chiyu with a smile. Night Sorrow nodded and left with Tianyu. He went straight to Danding Cliff without paying a visit to Yu, Gong Xian and the others. He knew that they were all busy and had a lot of things to do. When he arrived at Danding Cliff, he informed Elder Su that he didn't want to trouble Elder Su's Night Sorrow, so he let Tianyu return to Bamboo Forest Peak. Then Night Sorrow began to climb the cliff. After climbing 5,200 meters, the sky turned dark. Night Sorrow stopped climbing and cultivated at 5,200 meters. For the next few days, Night Sorrow didn't move. When his true Qi and myriad Dao Tomes energy recovered, he used the Vajra hands and continued to meditate. The rumbling sounds from time to time let the disciples of the Medicine Valley, who often used merit points to cultivate, know that the cultivation madman Night Sorrow had returned. This time Night Sorrow cultivated for more than 10 days. In addition to the previous time when he was doing missions, his true Qi cultivation and myriad Dao Tome cultivation were on the verge of advancing. Without moving, Night Sorrow raised his true Qi cultivation to the 5th level of the core condensation realm. After stabilizing his cultivation for half a day, Night Sorrow began to break through to the bone-forging realm of the Myriad Tao Tome. The first realm of the Myriad Tao Tome was the blood-refining realm. It strengthened the blood and opened up the meridians in the body. The second realm was the tendon-strengthening realm. It strengthened the meridians in the body. Night Sorrow was done with all these. Now, Night Sorrow had reached the bone-forging realm of the Myriad Tao Tome. During this period of time, Night Sorrow had been using the Flood Dragon bone-forging pill and the natural energy to strengthen his arms. At this time, his arms couldn't absorb any more energy. Night Sorrow planned to break through and enter the next realm. The final breakthrough of this realm required him to strengthen the bone marrow in his arms. Night Sorrow didn't dare to be careless. He came to the 5,000-meter platform without any pressure and began to break through at night. When the energy entered his bone marrow, Night Sorrow knew what it meant to feel pain in the bone marrow. The pain he had experienced in the past was nothing in front of strengthening his bone marrow. This pain was simply soul-piercing. Night Sorrow's arms trembled unnaturally. At the same time, the muscles on his face twitched. He knew that if he hadn't experienced some pain from cultivating the Myriad Tao Tome, he definitely wouldn't have been able to endure it. Night Sorrow even suspected that the person who created this cultivation method had a special constitution and couldn't feel pain. After 4 hours, Yishang strengthened the bone marrow in his arms and entered the second level of the bone-forging realm of the Myriad Tao Treasure Tome. His clothes were soaked. Feeling that there was no one around, Night Sorrow changed his clothes. He drank a mouthful of wine and began to stabilize his cultivation. After cultivating on the 5,000-meter platform until dawn, Night Sorrow returned to the 5,200-meter platform to continue cultivating. After cultivating for another day, Yishang's condition had recovered. He planned to continue climbing. In the Medicine Valley, the highest record for a core condensation realm cultivator was 5,400 meter. This wasn't difficult for Night Sorrow. Now he didn't feel any pressure at 5,200 meter. After stretching his waist, Night Sorrow began to climb upwards. Just after 5,200 meters, Night Sorrow felt that something was wrong. The pressure was much greater than the pressure below. This made him understand that the higher he climbed, the greater the pressure. The difference was huge. Night Sorrow also understood. No wonder so many rank 4 cultivators only reached 5,400 meter. The pressure was too great. After half an hour, Night Sorrow reached the 5,300 meter platform. He sat down cross-legged and began to recover. After using 4 hours to recover, Night Sorrow climbed towards the 5,400 meter mark. Night Sorrow's actions attracted a lot of attention. Night Sorrow was a famous person in Danding Cliff. Although it was very difficult, Night Sorrow still reached the 5,400 meter platform. Too heaven-defying. At the 5th level of the core condensation realm, he tied the record of 5,400 meter. Chu Ling Xiao, who was standing next to Elder Su, said. He also came to cultivate. He planned to use the pressure of Danding Cliff to consolidate his cultivation and break through to the 5th level. He also found the opportunity to break through. Let's go to the mountain and have a look. Elder Su got up and flew to the mountain opposite Danding Cliff. Chu Ling Xiao followed behind. Some disciples of the Medicine Valley also ran to catch up. This was a big event in the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow had surpassed all the predecessors of the Medicine Valley. Surpassing one level may be an opportunity, or it may be a big advantage at this stage. But to continuously surpass the previous record, that was the embodiment of strength. You all take a good look. Look at how he cultivated. A year and a half. He only cultivated for a year and a half, and he has such achievements. If Night Sorrow can break through to 5,500 meter, I will apply to the sect to give every disciple of the Medicine Valley under the 3rd level an extra day of cultivation. Elder Su said excitedly. We have to cheer for Martial Uncle Night. Danding Peak's Chen Yun said. 5,500 meter is not difficult for Martial Uncle Night. Another disciple on the Yuan ranking, Wan Chun, said. Chapter 264. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The record for the Yuan gathering step at Pill Cauldron Cliff was 4,500 meters. According to the rules, the record for the core condensation step should be 5,500 meters. But in reality, the record for the core condensation step had been reduced by 100 meters. In other words, the difficulty was different. Yishang started to climb. As soon as he came out of the 5,400 meter staircase, Yishang felt immense pressure. If the pressure from Danding Cliff was described as the impact of a violent storm before 4,000 meters, then it would be the impact of waves in the river before 5,400 meters. After 5,400 meters, it would be the impact of a waterfall. Every step Night Sorrow climbed took a lot of energy. As he continued to climb, one small platform after another was left behind. At 5,450 meters, Night Sorrow's true chi was exhausted. He decisively used the myriad Tao scripture's second-level bone-forging energy to continue climbing. Climbing on Danding Cliff had a strong body and great strength, which was a huge advantage. Very soon Night Sorrow had reached a height of 5,400 meters, which was 90 meters. The remaining 10 meters were like a huge ravine to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took a deep breath. Profound jade spiritual chi erupted from his hands and he once again charged upwards. After 3 consecutive attempts, Night Sorrow was sprawled on the 5,500-meter platform. He was like a piece of paper stuck to the ground, unable to stand up. Success. Haha, Martial Uncle Night has reached 5,500 meters. Qin Yun excitedly shouted. After resting for a while, Night Sorrow recovered his strength and sat down to recover his energy. This fellow, he's only at the 5th level of the core condensation realm. If he reaches the peak of the 9th level of the core condensation realm, he might reach 5,800 or even 6,000 meters. Chu Lingxiao sighed. The energy in his body is terrifying. It's no different from a demonic beast, said Elder Su. If I'm not wrong, this guy is going to charge into the alchemy list, Chu Lingxiao said after thinking for a moment. Elder Su nodded. Night Sorrow could have rushed towards the top a few days ago, but he didn't because he was accumulating his strength. Now that he was charging towards the record, he would also try to get into the alchemy board. Disperse, all of you disperse. Go do what you need to do. Chu Lingxiao shooed away the onlookers. While Night Sorrow was recovering his cultivation, he was also waiting for Tianyu. Tianyu came over once a day. Night Sorrow calculated that it was almost time for Tianyu to come. When Night Sorrow fully recovered his cultivation, Tianyu also appeared. Seeing Tianyu approaching, Night Sorrow roared. He slapped the cliff with his right hand and used the soaring dragon steps to rush towards Tianyu. In midair, Night Sorrow once again landed on Tianyu's back and controlled Tianyu to land at the bottom of Danding Cliff. It was time to leave. If there was nothing urgent, Yishang wanted to say goodbye to Elder Su. After getting off Tianyu, Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards Elder Su and Chu Lingxiao. Greetings to Elder Su and Peak Master Chu. Very good. You're only at the middle stage of the core condensation realm, yet you've already broken the Medicine Valley's core condensation realm record. When you reach the peak you can try again. Elder Su nodded with satisfaction. Just call me Senior Brother Chu. You don't need to be so polite. Are you planning to go back? Chu Lingxiao asked with a smile. AI only in K1 / Zeng 8H version E, the other 3/WS are all H Robber EZ version *. Yes. After cultivating for a while, I plan to go back and relax. Night Sorrow said. Then hurry up and go back. Chu Lingxiao nodded towards Night Sorrow. Riding Tianyu, Night Sorrow arrived at Tai Xin Hall. In the side hall, Night Sorrow saw Gong Xian and Wu Qi. Core Condensation Realm Level 5. Not bad. At this speed it won't take long for you to reach Level 4. Gong Xian pointed at a chair for Night Sorrow to sit down. How's the situation recently? Night Sorrow asked. He was more worried about this problem. There are sporadic battles, but it doesn't affect the overall situation. The troublemakers have all been killed. Medicine Valley's losses aren't that great. Gong Xian said. What do you plan to do next? Wu Qi asked. I originally planned to challenge the pill rankings, but at this time, Medicine Valley is facing an external battle and internal competition isn't suitable. I plan to wait for a while. Night Sorrow thought for a moment and said. You're right. If you challenge the pill rankings at this time, you'll definitely be criticized. Wait for a while. If you raise your cultivation by 1 or 2 levels, you'll have a better chance. Gong Xian agreed with Night Sorrow's point of view. After that, Night Sorrow left Tai Xin Hall and returned to Bamboo Forest Peak. On Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow saw Sikong Chuyu looking at him from afar. Before Tianyu could land, Night Sorrow's body flashed and landed in front of Sikong Chuyu. He hugged Sikong Chuyu. Go take a rest. I'll make something to eat. Sikong Chuyu patted Night Sorrow's shoulder and said. Then the two placed wine and dishes in front of the bamboo house and began to drink. First of all, congratulations on your improvement in cultivation. Sikong Chuyu raised the wine bowl to Night Sorrow. Thank you. How have you been? Night Sorrow picked up some food for Sikong Chuyu. How can I be? I'm stabilizing my cultivation now and preparing for my advancement, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. After eating, the two took Tianyu and the silver fox cub for a walk in the bamboo forest. This was Night Sorrow's favorite time. It was his favorite thing to do when he was free. What do you plan to do next? Sikong Chuyu sat on a green rock and patted the spot next to Night Sorrow. Not much. I just want to improve my cultivation as soon as possible. Only when I reach the 4th level can I travel around. Night Sorrow said. At the 4th level I can handle some things. At least I have qi to protect my body. Sikong Chuyu agreed with Night Sorrow's idea. Okay, I understand. Night Sorrow nodded. Then the two decided to go to Danding City tomorrow. After all, Yang Lei was still in Danding City. They needed to check out the situation there. The two returned to the bamboo house very late. Night Sorrow, don't cultivate tonight. Have a good rest. Okay. Can I accompany you? Night Sorrow asked in a low voice. Sure. We can chat when we have nothing to do, Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. Since things had already reached this point, she didn't want to reject Yi Shang. She knew that Yi Shang wasn't a playboy. Then the two went to Sikong Chuyu's room. Sikong Chuyu lit the beast oil lamp. You must be tired from cultivating non-stop these days. Have a good rest. After speaking, Sikong Chuyu took off her skirt, leaving only her tight pink underwear. Her curvy body was exposed in front of Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow turned his head. He did not dare to keep looking at Sikong Chuyu. Are you embarrassed? Sikong Chuyu helped Night Sorrow take off his outer robe. After hanging it up, they sat down on the bamboo bed. Chapter 265. Genius 1 second. Remember love divided by go divided by little? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Chuyu, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made such a request. Love go little say, Night Sorrow said. He was worried that Sikong Chuyu wouldn't like it. It's okay. I know you just want to be with me. You don't have any other thoughts. In fact, these are not important. Can I marry someone else? Sikong Chuyu leaned on Night Sorrow and whispered. After spending some time together, Sikong Chuyu also understood that sooner or later, she would be Night Sorrow's woman. Some things didn't need to be formal. That way Night Sorrow would be under a lot of pressure. After all, his family wasn't so easy to conquer. It was too difficult to get his family to agree and be together in the future. Chuyu, thank you for being willing to be with me. This gives me extra motivation to cultivate. Night Sorrow hugged Sikong Chuyu and said, You can't say that. Feelings are not charity. I decided to be with you not only because you are willing to love and protect me, but also because I like being with you. Sikong Chuyu said. I understand. Night Sorrow said softly. You don't understand at all. You like me, but I also like you. Our future doesn't only require you to work hard. I also have to work hard for my own happiness. Sikong Chuyu turned around and hugged Night Sorrow's waist. Night Sorrow didn't do anything that night. He just hugged Sikong Chuyu and chatted softly. If there was a further development, it would be that Night Sorrow kissed Sikong Chuyu seriously. After tidying up in the morning, Sikong Chuyu carried the silver fox cub and returned to Longquan Courtyard with Night Sorrow on the Tianyu. In the Dragon Spring Courtyard, Aoi was teaching this disciple a lesson with a rattan. Seeing that Night Sorrow had returned, Aoi extended her hand and gave Shinrong a vine. Your 13th martial uncle entered the sect at the same time as you. When he entered, he was at level 3 and you were at level 8. What about now? Your 13th uncle is already in the 5th level of the core formation realm, but you're still in the 6th level of the element gathering realm. Have you been cultivating for nothing? Master, 13th uncle, we really can't compare. Shinrong hugged his butt and jumped. Sikong Chuyu smiled and said, Indeed, 6th senior sister. It's not bad that he has reached this level in just over a year. Aoi didn't say anything else. Shinrong and Jiang Ziming were indeed good, but she just wanted them to work harder. 6th senior sister, hasn't my 9th senior sister come over recently? Night Sorrow found a seat and asked. Yes, she did. She's been in a hurry recently. She killed several groups of Golden Flame sect disciples. Qing Ji said with a smile. She should have asked her subordinates to do it. Sikong Chuyu said. Your 9th senior sister is gentle in front of you. She's usually hot-tempered, so it's hard to persuade her. Aoi said with a smile. Oi matey. Hai Luo Wei Little 6 and the others were either taking care of Tianyu and the silver fox cubs or getting food. When it was time for dinner, Yang Lei came over. I guess you'll be back soon. 13th uncle, you've improved your cultivation. When are you going to break the record of the core formation realm at Danding Cliff in the elixir list? Yang Lei asked after sitting down. Love, Gone Little say, Chu, I've already broken the record of the core formation realm at Danding Cliff. As for the elixir list, it's not the right time. Now that the Medicine Valley is united against outsiders, if I challenge the disciples on the elixir list, I'll be suspected of disregarding the safety of the Medicine Valley. Knight Sorrow expressed his opinion. You're right to think that way. Although the current battle doesn't have anything to do with those below the core condensation realm, it's indeed disgusting to try for the pill ranking at this time. Qin Ji agreed with Yi Shang's decision. Ninth Senior Sister, what are the cultivation levels of the Golden Flame Sect's people? Knight Sorrow asked. Some of the Severed Soul Realm disciples are old disciples who have exhausted their potential and have no future. When they fight with the disciples of the Medicine Valley, they use a method of mutual destruction. The most shameless one is the Golden Flame Sect. They let the Fire Tiger Sect, 8 Li Castle's O Clan, and Nanyang City's Tai Clan encroach on our Medicine Valley. Yang Lei said angrily. They're too despicable. Then we have to beat them back. Knight Sorrow said angrily. This matter has already been reported to the sect. The sect should have made a decision. Yang Lei said. Chiyu, you and 6th Senior Sister stay here. I plan to go out. The Medicine Valley is surrounded by enemies. As a disciple of the Medicine Valley, I have to do my part for the Medicine Valley. Knight Sorrow said after thinking for a while. Knight Sorrow was very tired of the Tai Clan, 8 Li Castle's O Clan and Fire Tiger Sect. He felt that these forces were too shameless and had no character. Last time, they responded to the Golden Flame Sect's call and made trouble at Venerable Hua Yunping's celebration. Now they're doing this again. Men should be brave. I agree. 6th Senior Sister Chiyu, what do you think? Yang Lei looked at Aoi and Sikong Chiyu and asked. If he goes with you, I won't object. But if he doesn't go with the other peaks, I won't be at ease. Aoi voiced her opinion. I agree. If he goes with eldest senior brother and 9th senior sister, then there's no problem. But if he goes with the other peaks, then forget it. Don't get cheated. Sikong Chiyu had the same opinion as Aoi. I understand. Even if others want 13 to go with them, I won't agree. Yang Lei said while eating. After eating, the few of them strolled and chatted in the courtyard. First, Shenrong and Jiang Ziming couldn't do it. If they dared to slack off, they would be served with rattan. After strolling around, Sikong Chiyu and Aoi went to rest. They mainly wanted to give Knight Sorrow and Yang Lei some time alone. How far have you and Chiyu progressed? Yang Lei looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. It's still the same. We just rested together for a night. Knight Sorrow said embarrassedly. Did you get her? Yang Lei asked excitedly. What are you talking about? I was just hugging her to rest, Yishan hurriedly explained. Where's the courage to touch me? You idiot. Yang Lei said with some resentment for not living up to her expectations. These things, let's take it slow. She's alone outside. How can I take advantage of her? Knight Sorrow shook his head and said. This is love between a man and a woman, not taking advantage of her. Yang Lei looked helplessly at Yishan. 9th Senior Sister, love is the most important thing. Nothing else is important. Knight Sorrow shook his head and said. Silly 13, I'm just worried that there will be other changes in the future. I'm afraid that you will be sad in the future. Yang Lei hugged Knight Sorrow and said. 9th Senior Sister, I know you're doing this for my own good. I believe in Chiyu just like how I believe in you. Knight Sorrow said. When the two returned to the hall, Gong Xian, Wu Qi and Huanan were already there. Knight Sorrow went up and asked. He knew that Medicine Valley was going to make a big move. They were going to declare war on Fire Tiger Clan, Bali Castle's O Clan and Nanyang's Tai Clan. The target of this operation was Nanyang City's Tai Clan. Tomorrow, Hua Yunping and Yu Yangyu would go to Nanyang City's Tai Clan's nest. Chapter 266. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. If you want to fight, that's fine. However, you have to listen to eldest senior brother. Don't act recklessly. Nanyang City's Tai family isn't any weaker than Medicine Valley's. It's just that they don't have a venerable. This battle will be a huge one, Gong Xian said. The closest force to Medicine Valley was Nanyang City's Tai family. This time, the Medicine Valley wanted to cripple the Tai family and let the Fire Tiger Sect and 8 Li Fort's O family know that the Medicine Valley wasn't something they could touch. Hua Yunping and Yu Yangyu weren't the only ones who wanted to make a move. A few of the Grand Elders also wanted to make a move. They didn't intend to give Nanyang City's Tai family a chance to catch their breath. Eldest senior brother, isn't the sect taking a risk by making this decision? What if the Golden Flame sect uses Nanyang City's Tai family as a trap and the venerable of the Golden Flame sect is waiting in Nanyang City? Night Sorrow said worriedly. 13, you've thought it through. The sect won't take the risk because our spies in the Golden Flame sect and the O family have confirmed that the venerable and experts of the Golden Flame sect are hiding in the O family. They think that the Medicine Valley will attack the weaker O family first. Now we're going to attack the stronger Nanyang City first, Gong Xian said. Since that's the case, I'm relieved. Will the battle start tomorrow? Night Sorrow asked. We'll set off in the second half of the night and head straight to Danqing City. The Tai family of Nanyang City took down the sect's Danqing City 2 days ago. Their main forces are now there. In the second half of the night, we'll gather the forces of Cloud Sea Peak, North Pole Peak, Forgotten Cloud Peak, Crepe Myrtle, and Danding Peak. We'll directly eliminate the main forces of Nanyang City in Danqing City. Gong Xian nodded. Then everyone went to rest. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went to the second floor where Night Sorrow lived. Night Sorrow, I won't be going with you. Be careful, Sikong Chuyu said. I'll be careful. I'll be with Big Brother and Ninth Senior Sister. Nothing will happen, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Don't worry, Chuyu. Our Medicine Valley has also sent out all of our main forces this time. Our Grand Elder, Master, and the others have also joined the battle. The Tai family of Nanyang City is no match for the Medicine Valley, Yang Lei said to Sikong Chuyu. Sikong Chuyu nodded and then left Night Sorrow's room with Yang Lei. Night Sorrow needed to meditate and rest. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow came to the hall. When Night Sorrow arrived, Gong Xian and the others from Taishan Peak were already there. Let's go to Danding City to meet up with the other junior brothers. 6th junior sister, you stay here and take care of the other third-generation disciples, Gong Xian said. Aoi had a gentle personality and almost never participated in any battles. She didn't do any sect missions or Chenji Tower missions. She also didn't do any killing. This was no secret in Taishan Peak and Medicine Valley. Nodding to Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow followed Gong Xian and the others and left Longquan Courtyard on their flying beasts. When they arrived at the square in front of the Danding City Mayor's mansion, they controlled their flying beasts to land. At this time, the Danding City Square was brightly lit. The Grand Elder and Shenwu were there. The people from the other peaks had also arrived. All of them were disciples of the 4th stage and above. Don't say too much. The time for battle has come. Whoever dares to touch Medicine Valley will have to pay the price in blood. Get on the mounts. The Grand Elder roared and released a red goshawk. He then jumped on the back of the goshawk in a flash. After that, the others also got on their mounts. Those who didn't have mounts shared a mount. At this time, the difference between the disciples of each peak was obvious. Taishan Peak had the most mounts. Other than Yu Yangyu's disciples, the other second-generation disciples also had mounts. Only a small portion of them didn't have mounts. At most they had 2 people on a mount. The other peaks had 3 people on a mount. Crepe Myrtle was full of women. It was even worse. Most of them didn't have mounts. Let's go to Taishan Peak. Yi Xiling shouted to her disciples. At this time, what could the disciples of Taishan Peak say? Everyone was going to fight for Medicine Valley. Some of them might not even be able to make it back. How could they refuse to let them ride? 2 second-generation disciples of Crepe Myrtle also came on the back of Night Sorrow's Tianyu. Night Sorrow had seen these 2 people before, but he didn't know their names. Junior brother Night, your mount is so handsome. The Valley Master is just worried about you. An older disciple said with a smile. My junior apprentice brother obtained this mount himself. Don't think that everything my junior apprentice brother has was given to him by someone else. Everything he has was earned by himself. Yang Lei, who was not far from Yi Shang, was somewhat dissatisfied. This disciple of Crepe Myrtle smiled apologetically at Night Sorrow. She originally thought that such a handsome beast like Tianyu must have been given to Night Sorrow by Yu Yangyu and the others. She never thought that Night Sorrow got it himself. E6 is forever exempt. #Fee #little f said. Then the group set off. Night Sorrow knew that the journey would take 4 hours, which meant that they would attack the place before dawn, when people were most likely to be scarce. 4 hours couldn't be wasted. Night Sorrow let Tianyu follow Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and then sat down to meditate and cultivate. Looking at Night Sorrow meditating on the back of Tianyu's neck, the 2 disciples of Crepe Myrtle looked at each other. Most people couldn't do this. This was the difference between a tamed beast and an intelligent beast. Tamed beasts were tamed by humans. They would be obedient, but they didn't have much intelligence. They would do whatever you commanded them to do. If you didn't command them, they wouldn't move. Most people controlled their tamed beasts to fly, but Night Sorrow's Tianyu followed Gong Xian and Yang Lei's green condor and knew how to accelerate and decelerate. It was extremely agile. Under such circumstances, anyone who wasn't stupid would know what Tianyu was like. It was an intelligent beast that could continuously evolve, not to mention that its bloodline was very strong. The first elder and the other peak masters weren't surprised. Night Sorrow cultivated for 4 hours before everyone arrived at the outskirts of Danqing City. Then the first elder assigned tasks. The first elder, the second elder, and Yen Beibei led a group of people to the city lord's mansion, while the other peaks charged through the 3 city gates. Many of you haven't experienced war. I'll remind you now that war is cruel. It's either you die or I die. If you see any members of the Tai family in Nanyang City, kill them as long as their cultivation is above stage 2. After assigning the tasks, the first elder turned around and reminded everyone. The disciples who came this time were all stage 4 and above, but many of them had never experienced a battle. Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle were attacking from the south gate. They wanted to charge through the south gate to the city lord's mansion. North Peak and Cloud Sea Peak were the north gate, while Forgotten Cloud Peak and Ninein Peak were the east gate. Danqing City was built on a mountain, so there were only 3 city gates. Seeing the first elder lead a group of elders into the city, everyone moved. Riding their flying beasts to the south gate, the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle landed. After the battle begins, all disciples of Crepe Myrtle will listen to Peak Master Gong's orders. Those who disobey will be killed. The battle was about to begin. Yi Xiling gave the order to Crepe Myrtle's disciples. A battle needed a unified command, and Yi Xiling was aware of this. Don't hurt the civilians. They are all citizens under the jurisdiction of Medicine Valley. They don't want Danqing City to fall. Kill them now. Yi Xian roared and charged forward. Chapter 267. Genius 1 Second Remember Love, Go, Shao? We provide you with interesting novels to read. When the Medicine Valley's troops arrived, the members of the Tai clan in Danqing City already knew. The Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of the Tai clan of Nanyang City finding out. This time they were going to kill them openly. Since the Tai clan of Nanyang City dared to seize Danqing City, it was a declaration of war. Since they had declared war, the Medicine Valley would fight to the end. The city gates opened, and the troops of the Tai clan of Nanyang City rushed out. The city gates and city walls wouldn't be able to resist the attack of the Medicine Valley. They could only fight. The city gates and city walls could only resist the attacks of demonic beasts that couldn't fly. They were useless against the attacks of human experts. Rank 4 cultivators could fly for a short period of time, while Rank 5 cultivators could fly continuously. The city gates and city walls were just decorations that couldn't stop them. Both parties quickly engaged in close combat. Gong Xian, Yang Lei, and Yi Xiling rushed at the front, while Night Sorrow followed closely behind them. Night Sorrow's cultivation was lower than theirs, but his soaring dragon steps was extremely fast. As they engaged in close combat with the disciples of the Tai clan of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and directly pierced the chest of a disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City who was guarding the city. This was a rank 4 defender. When he saw that Night Sorrow's cultivation was only at the rank 3, he didn't take it to heart. The long sword in his hand slashed out diagonally, intending to shake off Night Sorrow's long sword and then attack Night Sorrow's chest. Love, Go, Shao Ashua Shao Ashua Iw. Aichux. When the weapons clashed, the expression of the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City changed. His long sword was shaken off by the explosive force of Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear. After shaking off his opponent's weapon, Night Sorrow pushed with his right hand. The reincarnation spear instantly accelerated and pierced into his opponent's chest. With a shake of his arm, Night Sorrow sent the disciple of the Tai clan of Nanyang City flying. This shocked the disciples of Taishan Peak and Crepe Myrtle. That was a stage 4 cultivator. Of course, he had underestimated his opponent, but he had also seen Night Sorrow's tyrannical combat power. After killing an opponent with a single spear strike, Night Sorrow took out 2 sky-piercing spears and placed them on his waist. He then continued to charge forward. This was a chaotic battle, so Night Sorrow had to be prepared for close combat. Shouts and screams rang out continuously. The strength of the Tai family in Nanyang City was comparable to that of the Medicine Valley in the past. They also had many subsidiary forces within their borders and many experts. Of course, there would be many people guarding such a crucial place like the city gate. The battle was especially intense. Knight Sorrow brandished his reincarnation spear and killed the men of the Tai clan in Nanyang City. Knight Sorrow could kill a stage 3 opponent with a few spears. As for stage 4 cultivators, Knight Sorrow was not afraid of them. He could also fight, but it was very difficult to kill them. At this time, Taishan Peak or Crepe Myrtle's disciples would take over. Everyone knew about Knight Sorrow's situation. They knew that Knight Sorrow was a stage 3 cultivator and could sweep away all stage 3 cultivators. However, it would be difficult for him to kill a stage 4 opponent. Therefore, they did not let Knight Sorrow face a stage 4 opponent. Knight Sorrow's white battle robe was dyed red with the blood of his enemies. The others were not as miserable as him. After all, stage 4 cultivators had their chi protecting their bodies. Blood would not splatter on their bodies. Soon, the disciples of the Medicine Valley killed their way in through the city gate. The battlefield shifted to the city. 13. Be careful. Yang Lei shouted at Knight Sorrow. At this time, a group of people surged out of the city. These people's cultivation bases were very high. The battle was very fierce. While the members of the forces of Nanyang City were killed, the Medicine Valley side also suffered injuries. Die. At this time, an old man appeared. After punching Huanan back, he slashed at Lin Jingyi, who was not far behind Huanan. Ding. With a crisp sound, Lin Jingyi's long sword was broken by the old man. Her body was also sent flying to the side. She flew for 5 to 6 zhang before falling to the ground. At this time, a young man from the Tai clan of Nanyang City brandished his saber and slashed at Lin Jingyi. Jingyi. Junior sister. Crepe Myrtle's men shouted loudly. However, no one had the chance to help because they were too far away. At this time, Knight Sorrow pulled out the sky-piercing spear with his left hand and threw it. This black light was not very obvious in the dawn, but it let out an ear-piercing screech. The sky-piercing spear pierced the young man's abdomen and sent him flying backward. In the end, he was nailed to an ancient tree on the side of the street. The people of Medicine Valley heaved a sigh of relief. One must know that the young man's saber was only half a chi away from Lin Jingyi's neck. After throwing the spear, Knight Sorrow followed behind Yang Lei and Gong Xian. They continued to advance and kill. More and more bloodstains appeared on their robes. In the beginning, they encountered many rank 4 cultivators. They were the main force of the Tai clan of Nanyang City. They were also at the forefront. After breaking through this blockade, the number of rank 3 cultivators of the Tai clan increased. Knight Sorrow was like a ferocious tiger that entered a flock of sheep. He brandished his reincarnation spear and killed with every strike. In the middle, Knight Sorrow once again used his sky-piercing spear to save a disciple of the Crepe Myrtle. There was no time to retrieve the sky-piercing spear. Knight Sorrow took out 2 more sky-piercing spears and stuck them on his waist. The sky gradually brightened. The group continued to advance, but the battle was not as intense. After all, this was no longer the main area. 13. Are you injured? Yang Lei asked as she looked at Knight Sorrow's blood-stained battle robes. I'm fine. It's all someone else's. Knight Sorrow shook his head. 2 hours later, Yi Xiling, Gong Xian and Yang Lei led their troops and killed their way to the City Lord's mansion. The battle at the City Lord's mansion was even more intense. The plaza in front of the City Lord's mansion was filled with blood and corpses that were lying on the ground. Not long after Gong Xian, Yang Lei and Knight Sorrow arrived, the other 2 groups of people also arrived. Duan Lei, how are the losses of the North Pole Peak and Cloud Sea Peak? The pale-faced Great Elder asked. 9 head. 4 disciples died. The other 2 were severely injured and crippled. Duan Lei bowed and said, Yuan Tai Lingxiao, how is your group? The Great Elder looked at the second group of people. We lost 5 disciples. Lingxiao is also injured. Yuan Tai said with guilt. There are deaths in war. They died for the Medicine Valley. They are the pride of the Medicine Valley. Qian Wu said. Gong Xian Xiling, how is your group? How are your losses? The Great Elder coughed and asked. 2 disciples died. Some of the others are injured. Yi Xiling said. Fortunately, we can't stay here for too long. We don't need to guard this city. Everyone go down and comfort the people. Tell them that the Medicine Valley will not give up on this place. We are retreating now for the sake of the overall situation. The Great Elder said to the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley. 13. Are you injured? The Great Elder looked at Knight Sorrow and asked. I'm fine. Thank you for your concern, Great Elder. Knight Sorrow bowed. Chapter 268. Geniuses Remember Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Senior Sister Tang, what are you doing? Knight Sorrow wanted to help them up, but he was a man and a woman. Junior Brother Knight, thank you for saving my 2 junior sisters, Tang Chanchan said. Senior Sister Tang, we are all from the same sect. We are all fighting for Medicine Valley. There is no need to be so polite, Knight Sorrow said quickly. Oh right, my sky-piercing spear. Great Elder, please continue with your work. I will go look for a weapon. Knight Sorrow was about to leave. He couldn't lose his sky-piercing spear. 13. Why are you so excited? Yi Xiling said with a smile. Then she waved her hand, and a disciple of Crepe Myrtle came over with 2 sky-piercing spears. I was in a hurry just now, so I forgot to take them back. I didn't have time. Knight Sorrow nodded and took back the 2 sky-piercing spears. What happened? The Great Elder asked. 13 killed a lot of enemies and saved Crepe Myrtle's disciples twice, Yi Xiling said. The Great Elder, the Second Elder, the other elders, and the Peak Masters all nodded at Knight Sorrow in admiration. It was rare for a 3rd-stage disciple to do this. At noon, all the disciples of Medicine Valley left. The Golden Flame sect was strong, so the Medicine Valley wouldn't choose to fight them head-on. They couldn't leave their men in Danqing City and wait for the Golden Flame sect to strike. The members of Medicine Valley rode their flying beasts back to Danding Peak of Medicine Valley. Knight Sorrow didn't stay in Danding City either. He was worried about Hua Yunpeng and Yu Yangyu. The Medicine Valley had dealt a heavy blow to the Tai family of Nanyang City and Danqing City, but the key to determining the outcome of this battle was still the battle results of Hua Yunpeng, Yu Yangyu, and the other Grand Elders. Only by destroying the backbone of the Tai family of Nanyang City could they establish the foundation for victory. In the side hall of Danding Peak, Knight Sorrow saw Yu Yangyu and Hua Yunpeng. Seeing the 2 of them, Knight Sorrow felt relieved. If the 2 of them were safe, then the other Grand Elders would also be fine. After asking about the battle at Danqing City, Yu Yangyu also told him about the battle at Nanyang City. Y forever Q, for a long time D free fee QMCT small %. Say Carrot, the Patriarch and Grand Elder of Nanyang City's Tai family, had been killed. Apart from those outside, none of the Tai family members above Type 5 were spared. This kind of result made everyone very happy. Then Yu Yangyu and the others arranged the next step of the Medicine Valley's operation. Love Gong Little Say First, they informed the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to scram. If they continued to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, then the venerables of the Golden Flame sect would stay in their territory. Otherwise, the Medicine Valley would eliminate them as soon as they had the chance. This was the difference between venerables and venerables. They had absolute suppression power. The Medicine Valley was at a disadvantage against the Golden Flame sect, but they had absolute strength against the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family. The Medicine Valley's notice was actually to let the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family make a choice. Continue to follow the Golden Flame sect like dogs, or withdraw from the battle in this area. If they continued to stand behind the Golden Flame sect, then they would have to constantly consider the attacks of the Medicine Valley. If the Golden Flame sect's protection was not good enough, then it would be a disaster. However, how could the venerables of the Golden Flame sect stay in their territory all the time? This was unrealistic. The Tai family of Nanyang City was a good example. After knowing that the Tai family of Nanyang City was wiped out by the Medicine Valley, the faces of the higher-ups of the Golden Flame sect were very ugly. The current situation was out of control. This was something that had not happened in the Golden Flame sect for many years. Su Huantian sat on the main seat and looked at the people in the main hall. At this time it was useless for him to blame Zhang Qianni. It would also make the other families think that the Su family was suppressing the Zhang family. In addition, the Zhang family also had venerables. It was not appropriate to overly attack Zhang Qianni. Tell the Fire Tiger sect and the 8 Mile Fort's O family to withdraw from the Medicine Valley. Instead of letting them withdraw themselves, it's better for the Golden Flame sect to say it directly. Su Huantian said. Yes. Zhang Qianni was now in a mess. With Su Huantian making the decision, the pressure in his heart lessened. Venerables, then we should let the Medicine Valley continue to be arrogant? Qi Tianhua looked at Su Huantian and asked. Under the situation where we can't destroy the Medicine Valley's venerables, no matter what we do, we won't be able to destroy the Medicine Valley. Su Huantian shook his head. The other elders also understood this point. The Golden Flame sect's strength was much stronger than the Medicine Valley's, but in the current situation they couldn't break through. After the Medicine Valley made a move, they would retreat to Danding Peak. If the Golden Flame sect continued to make a move, the Medicine Valley would continue to make a move. After the fight they would retreat. No one could do anything about it. Su Huanqian couldn't defeat Hua Yunpeng on Danding Peak. With a stable base, the Medicine Valley wouldn't be afraid of the Golden Flame sect's attack. Looking at the other disappointed elders, Su Huanqian coughed. We can only endure it for now. When Venerable Zhan comes out of seclusion, I will go to the Medicine Valley. As long as we can take down the Medicine Valley's venerables, the Medicine Valley will be frozen and disintegrated. The elders of the Golden Flame sect and Zhan Qianni could only nod. This was the only way for the Golden Flame sect to break through the current situation. After that, Su Huanqian asked Zhan Qianni to arrange for the takeover of the Tai family's territory in Nanyang City. The Tai family in Nanyang City had already been wiped out by the Medicine Valley, which left a large empty area. Of course, the Golden Flame sect didn't want it to fall into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The troops sent by the Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fort O family to attack the Medicine Valley retreated. This was the Golden Flame sect's intention. In fact, without the Golden Flame sect's intention, they would have retreated. They didn't want to be the second Tai family. The battle in the Medicine Valley had stopped, but the storm hadn't calmed down. What? Because of the ownership of the territory under the Tai family in Nanyang City. The Golden Flame sect didn't want to benefit the Medicine Valley and didn't want the Medicine Valley to expand. Of course they had to take over. What about the Medicine Valley? After destroying the Tai family in Nanyang City they worked hard. Naturally they wouldn't give the Golden Flame sect the fruits of their labor. The Golden Flame sect couldn't do anything to the Medicine Valley at the moment. Of course, the Medicine Valley wasn't afraid of trouble. They began to fight for territory with the Golden Flame sect in Nanyang City. Battles happened frequently. This time the 12 peaks of the Medicine Valley all moved. They began to occupy the territory under the control of the Tai family in Nanyang City. Whenever a disciple of the Golden Flame sect appeared, they would kill him. The Medicine Valley even took over the key Nanyang City, which was no less prosperous than the Danding City. The Tai family in Nanyang City was on the same level as the Medicine Valley in the past. They had operated in this area for many years and managed an area of tens of thousands of miles. After the Medicine Valley took over Nanyang City, they sent Yen Beibei and Xue Qi to guard it. The two were ordered to guard the city and not let the Golden Flame sect take it away. If the small fries of the Golden Flame sect came, they would kill them. If the experts came, they would retreat. The Golden Flame sect was burning with anger. They clearly understood the means and intentions of the Medicine Valley, but they couldn't solve it. Chapter 269. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. The conflict ended with the victory of the Medicine Valley once again. More than half of Nanyang City was taken over by the Medicine Valley while the other half was taken over by the Golden Flame sect. The most important part of Nanyang City fell into the hands of the Medicine Valley. The Fire Tiger sect and the 8-Mile Fort O clan were both shocked and bitterly disappointed by this result. They were both considering whether it was right or wrong to be tied to the Golden Flame sect. As the saying goes, the fox mourns the death of the hare. The Tai clan of Nanyang City was the same as them. They were both affiliated forces of the Golden Flame sect. But now the Tai clan was destroyed. Not only did the Golden Flame sect not seek justice for the Tai clan of Nanyang City, they even took over a part of the Tai clan's territory. The higher-ups of the O clan held a meeting. Everyone felt that in terms of credibility, the Golden Flame sect was not as good as the Medicine Valley. And the Medicine Valley was rising rapidly. Elders, it's time for the O clan to make a decision, said the head of the O clan, O Zhentian. That's right. The Golden Flame sect asked us to retreat because they had no choice. They knew that even if they didn't ask us to, we would still retreat, said an elder of the O clan. We can't touch the Medicine Valley now. Those people are unyielding. Once we provoke them, there will be no end to it, said the female elder of the O clan, O Shuru. We didn't offend the Medicine Valley too much. The Golden Flame sect should be the one to blame, said O Zhentian. What do you think, clan head? O Shuru looked at O Zhentian and asked. I want to have a talk with the Medicine Valley. We have to talk. The conflict between the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect will erupt again. What should we do if the Golden Flame sect continues to use us as cannon fodder? Zhenqian expressed his thoughts. Yes, we need to talk. The Medicine Valley has its own principles. They should know that we were helpless in the past. The Golden Flame sect is really unreliable. If we don't attack the Medicine Valley in the future, they will turn against us and swallow us whole, the white-haired Oshuagia said. Since that's what everyone thinks, then I'll make a trip to the Medicine Valley. However, everyone must understand that since we're going to negotiate, it means that we're tied to the Medicine Valley's chariot. Zhenqian reminded the O family elders present. If the Medicine Valley could lend a helping hand when the Golden Flame sect attacks us, then it doesn't matter if we're tied to the same chariot as them. After we go there, be humble. We're no longer on the same level as them. An old man walked in. Great Elder. Everyone in the main hall of the O family stood up. It was the Great Elder of the O family, O Fengyuan. The situation is chaotic now. If nothing unexpected happens, the Medicine Valley will rise. Our O family doesn't have a venerable, so we can only follow behind the top forces. Therefore it's important to choose a side. Things are different now, so we have to be humble, O Fengyuan said to Zhenqian. Then Zhenqian will go. Zhenqian stood up and said, Shuru, you go with him. Pay attention to his whereabouts. O Fengyuan said to O Shuru. Zhenqian and O Shuru left the main hall of the O family and headed towards the Danding Mountain of the Medicine Valley. Night Sorrow and Yang Lei returned to Danding City. Night Sorrow accompanied Yang Lei to deal with some matters in the City Lord Mansion. Then the two returned to the Longquan courtyard. You're back. Sikong Chuyu and Aoi, who were drinking tea, greeted. Your man is very impressive. He has killed countless enemies. Yang Lei lifted her skirt and sat down. Aoi smiled. You speak as if he's not your man. Yang Lei wanted to say something, but after opening her mouth twice, no words came out. She really didn't have the strength to fight back. Ai go shao shua 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 w. Ai chuex. Calm, alright, sit down and drink tea. Sixth senior sister is right. Sikong Chuyu said with a smile. It should be stable for a while. Always said. The Golden Fire sect can't do anything to the Medicine Valley. They can only wait for an opportunity. As for when that opportunity will come, I'm not sure. Yang Lei thought for a moment and said. It should be some time. The Golden Fire sect's actions this time have caused them to lose popularity. Not only did they not seek justice for the Tai family of Nanyang City, but they also went to fight for territory. This will make the Fire Tiger sect and the Eightley Castle O family bitterly disappointed. I don't think those two families will work wholeheartedly for the Golden Fire sect. Aoi said after pouring tea for Yang Lei and Night Sorrow. It's better if it's quiet. That way we can cultivate peacefully. Night Sorrow didn't want the situation to be too chaotic and affect his cultivation. Yeah, war means death. This time the losses were small, but some disciples died. It's quite heartbreaking. Aoi said. This topic was quite heavy. After all, before the war, everyone was still alive. 13. You have to prepare. It won't be long before the alternate space opens. Yang Lei reminded Night Sorrow. I understand. I don't know if my cultivation can still be improved. Night Sorrow said. Such alternate spaces are very dangerous. No one knows what's going on inside. You have to know that there are many unknown creatures in the world. I've read about alternate spaces in ancient books. There are undead, demons, and so on. Those are all extremely powerful and evil creatures, Yang Lei said. That's right. An uninvestigated alternate space is extremely terrifying. It could be a small space with a radius of a few dozen miles or 100 miles, but it could also be an extremely large world. Because it has existed for countless years, it can produce spiritual treasures of heaven and earth, but it can also give birth to extremely vicious creatures. Qing Ji said to Yishang. She knew that Yishang was young and did not have much experience. After I go in, I will be careful. However, there are still more than 2 months. Night Sorrow was not worried. After drinking the tea, Night Sorrow went to practice his spear art. With the improvement of his chi cultivation and the myriad Dao treasured tome, Night Sorrow felt that there was room for improvement in his spear art and movement technique. In Thunder Mountain, several old men were standing in front of a space crack emitting evil aura. This is the entrance to an alternate space. However, the energy is unstable. After it stabilizes, only severed soul stage cultivators and below can enter. If high-level cultivators enter, it will cause the space to collapse. Then call back all the late-stage third-order disciples who are training outside. The appearance of such an alternate space may be a great opportunity. An old man said. In the Holy Light Grand Canyon, the same situation occurred. The Holy Light Temple also called back all the elite disciples below the Fourth Order. Translator, Timothy_editor. Globe-Glotter Night Sorrow worked hard to improve his cultivation. As for the alternate space, Night Sorrow felt that it was no different from doing a Chinji Tower task. After cultivating in the Dragon Spring Courtyard for half a month, Night Sorrow once again returned to the Medicine Valley's Danding Cliff. To continue climbing, he had to borrow the pressure of Danding Cliff to cultivate. The main reason was that the energy here was abundant. It was no different from cultivating in the Spirit Gathering Array. Chapter 270. Genius 1 Second Remember Love Go/Small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Many people in the Medicine Valley didn't approve of him. They were all disciples of the Medicine Valley, so showing off in front of their own people wasn't something to be proud of. Night Sorrow's 6-kill performance at Hua Yunping's venerable celebration ceremony had already gained the approval of most people. This time, in the confrontation with the Tai family of Nanyang City, Night Sorrow had even killed a Stage 4 opponent. Such a battle record was hard to accept even if others didn't want to. After greeting Elder Su, Night Sorrow began to climb the cliff. Night Sorrow climbed to a height of 5,400 meters and began to cultivate. It was still difficult for him to climb 5,500 meters. Night Sorrow wanted to cultivate now, not to break the record, so he didn't want to waste time. When Night Sorrow was cultivating, the others consciously distanced themselves from him. This was because they didn't know when Night Sorrow would make a move. In addition, this was also a form of respect for Night Sorrow. One must know that those who could reach Night Sorrow's area were all Stage 4 Spirit-Severing Stage disciples of the Medicine Valley. It wasn't easy to gain their approval. While Night Sorrow was cultivating hard, Yu Yangyu, the Great Elder, Chen Wu, and the others were talking with O Jintian and O Shuru in the main hall of the Medicine Valley. Although they were still fighting a while ago, Yu Yangyu and the others were still polite to O Jintian and O Shuru. Even if they were fighting, they still had to receive 1 or 2 people from the other side. This was their magnanimity. After that, O Jintian explained his intentions and expressed his sincerity. I personally agree with this matter, but we also need the opinions of the other elders. How about this? O clan head, if you have any opinions you can voice them out. Our Medicine Valley will hold a meeting of elders to make a decision, Yu Yangyu said. O Jintian and O Shuru glanced at each other. Then O Jintian told them about the O clan's idea. The O clan was willing to join the Medicine Valley and live or die with the Medicine Valley. If the O clan was attacked by the Golden Flame sect after leaving the Medicine Valley would have to fight against the enemy together. After that, Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder held a meeting of the elders. There were also elite disciples who brought O Jintian and O Shuero to the side hall for tea. Soon, most of the elders of the Medicine Valley arrived and began to study the problem of the O family. After that, everyone felt that this was a good thing. After all, it was too difficult for the Medicine Valley to deal with the Golden Flame sect alone. If they could form an alliance with the O clan, the strength of the Medicine Valley would increase by a lot. The Golden Flame sect would have 1 less helper. With this, the Medicine Valley wouldn't have such a hard time in the future. Love Gon Little Seiku, as long as they are sincere in forming an alliance with us, there won't be a problem. What I'm worried about is that they won't dig a hole for us. When the time comes, they will ruthlessly dig a hole for us, Lu Qinyun said. This shouldn't be a problem. The O clan won't do that. It won't do them any good. We have the Venerable to deter them, so they won't dare to be fickle. In addition, we will also know if they make any unusual moves, Yu Yangyu said. After that, Qian Wu went to invite O Jintian and O Shuero back to the Pill Cauldron main hall. Yu Yangyu told them the opinion of the Medicine Valley. After hearing that the Medicine Valley was willing to accept the O clan, O Jintian and O Shuero immediately swore on their inner demons that they wouldn't betray the alliance. The successful alliance made O Jintian and O Shuero very happy. Although this move was a gamble, at least they wouldn't become cannon fodder. After all, the Medicine Valley and the Golden Flame sect had different styles of doing things. In addition, the two sides also exchanged administrative areas. In this way, the Medicine Valley would be able to connect the area left by Nanyang City with their own territory. When they connected with the O clan's territory, the two sides would form a line of defense. Starter? For this line of defense almost divided the territory of the Golden Flame sect into 2 halves. The Medicine Valley, the Tai clan of Nanyang City, and the O clan of Eightley Fort, these 3 first-class forces occupied almost half of the territory of the Golden Flame sect. Now that the territories of these 3 forces were connected, The area of the Golden Flame sect was very large. I wonder how the Fire Tiger sect will react next, Ojintian said. Our actions can't be hidden. Before the Fire Tiger sect has any reaction, the Golden Flame sect will make their move. Whether they want to rope them in or threaten them, the Golden Flame sect won't give the Fire Tiger sect a chance to betray us, Yu Yangyu said. That should be the case. No matter what, as long as the Golden Flame sect touches our territory, we will fight back. When the time comes, Valley Master Lu just needs to send the battle plan to the O clan, Ojintian said. Okay. Rest assured, O clan master. The Medicine Valley will either not accept them or not. As long as the Golden Flame sect touches the O clan's territory, the Medicine Valley will fight back, Yu Yangyu reassured the O clan. Valley Master, the O clan is now at the heart of the struggle. The older generation of the O clan is not afraid of war or death, but the younger generation is not. They are the seed of the fire. The Medicine Valley is safe. Can you let the younger generation of the O clan hide here? This way we won't have to worry about the consequences when we fight. Ojintian looked at Yu Yangyu and asked, Great Elder, what do you think? Yu Yangyu looked at the Great Elder. I have no objections. When you come, let's communicate with each other. There were some conflicts during the Venerable One's celebration last time. The younger generation should not take things too hard, the Great Elder said. Then it's settled. In a few days, Elder Shuru will bring the younger generation over. Valley Master and the elders will arrange it. This way we can rest assured and the Medicine Valley can rest assured, Ojintian said. O Clan Master, you think too much. Since we are allies, the Medicine Valley will definitely trust the O Clan. After hearing Ojintian's words, Yu Yangyu said. This was because Ojintian's words had two meanings. Sending the younger generation of the O Clan to rest assured was because they were not afraid that the Venerable One of the Golden Flame sect would go to the O Clan's headquarters and kill all of the O Clan's disciples. Letting the Medicine Valley rest assured meant that the younger generation of the O Clan would be used as hostages. Okay, then we will take our leave. Ojintian and O Shuru left. This meeting was a happy ending for both sides. The Medicine Valley and the O Clan both expressed their sincerity. Nominally they were allies, but the O Clan considered themselves as a subordinate force. Since then, the Golden Flame sect's territory had become a situation where the two forces were fighting for hegemony. Night Sorrow stayed on Danding Cliff and worked hard to cultivate, rapidly increasing his cultivation. He wanted to increase his cultivation as much as possible before the alternate space opened because everything in the alternate space was unknown. Towards the unknown, Sikong Chuyu told him to have a reverent heart. Cultivating on Pill Tripod Cliff allowed one's cultivation to improve quickly and steadily. Yishang cultivated diligently and tirelessly. This was the treatment that the disciples of the Medicine Valley dreamed of. However, for countless years, no one had been able to do it. After all, it was too difficult to break the record. After cultivating for half a month, Night Sorrow was driven down from Danding Cliff by Elder Su. Elder Su was worried that Night Sorrow would develop a psychological resistance to cultivation after cultivating for a long time. Although he felt that there was no problem, Night Sorrow did not refuse Elder Su's good intentions. After drinking a jar of wine with Elder Su, Night Sorrow left. Night Sorrow planned to pay a visit to Yu Yangyu. After not seeing him for half a month, he wanted to pay his respects. When he arrived in front of Danding Main Hall, Night Sorrow saw the people of the O Clan and immediately took out the reincarnation spear from his back. Chapter 271. Genius Remembers Love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Seeing Night Sorrow take out his reincarnation spear, the O Clan's disciples took a few steps back. One of them, an 18 or 19-year-old youth, stood out and said, We are O Clan's disciples. We came here with our clan's elders. We have no ill intentions. At this moment, the Great Elder, Fourth Elder, Lu Qinyun, and O Shuru walked out of the Pill Cauldron main hall while chatting and laughing. Look, fortunately we came out in time. Otherwise a fight would have broken out. 13 Quickly put away your weapon. The Great Elder waved his hand at Night Sorrow. Medicine Valley's Taishan Peak's disciple, Night Sorrow. Last time, during the honored expert celebration, he displayed his invincible might and killed 6 people. I have seen him before. Oshuru said. 13 Let me introduce you. This is O Clan's elder Oshuru. Also, let me tell you that the sect and the O Clan are now allies. In the future we will be friends, not enemies. The Great Elder introduced to Night Sorrow. Junior Night Sorrow greets Elder O. Please don't take what happened during the celebration to heart. Night Sorrow cupped his hands at Oshuru. Last time he killed a member of the O clan. I won't. At that time our standpoints were different. These are the younger generation of our O clan. If they have done anything inappropriate, please don't mind. Oshuru looked at Night Sorrow and nodded her head in appreciation. Elder O can rest assured on this point. Great Elder, where is my master? Night Sorrow nodded at Oshuru and asked the Great Elder. Valley Master also needs to cultivate. Therefore this old man is busy with this and that. The Great Elder said with a smile. Then this disciple will take his leave first. Night Sorrow bowed to the Great Elder and Fourth Elder. He nodded at Oshuru, released Tianyu and left in a flash. This little guy is amazing. Oshuru sighed. Night Sorrow is not bad. Elder Lu, take Elder O to Thousand Water Peak. Great Elder said to Lu Qinyun. The O family had arranged for their core seedlings to stay in the Medicine Valley. The Medicine Valley had also specially allocated Chenshui Peak, which was beside Danding Peak, for them to stay in. Lu Qinyun and O Shuero were in charge of communication between the two parties. After settling down the O family's disciples, Lu Qinyun left. He wanted to inform the disciples of the Medicine Valley about this matter. They shouldn't get into a conflict because they didn't know each other. Today's Night Sorrow drawing his gun was a good example. That youngster even used a weapon against us. Doesn't he just have a slightly better master? A female disciple of the O clan said with some dissatisfaction. Love Gon Little say W Chu, be careful with your words, cousin Zijuan. He is very powerful. Not only does he have a good master, but he also killed 6 people in a row on the stage during the Medicine Valley's prestige conference. He relied on his true abilities, said the young man who had begun to communicate with Night Sorrow. Cousin Zijing, is he really that powerful? O Zijuan asked. He's invincible among his peers. Don't you think he's powerful? Although you don't like Obin, you know his strength. At that time they were at the same level, but Obin was killed in an instant. The disciples of Nanyang City's Tai family, Flaming Tiger sect and Golden Flame sect's genius Zhan Xie were all killed by him on the stage. Do you think it was luck or coincidence? That was a manifestation of strength and courage. O Shuero glared at O Zijuan. Elder is right. This disciple has never admired anyone, but he is one. Although he was an opponent at that time, this disciple's blood was boiling. He raised his spear and shouted to the heavens that he would kill whoever came. How domineering was that? O Zijing said. Zijing, your vision is indeed not bad. Let's not talk about strength for now. That aura is not something an ordinary person can possess. The most outstanding thing about the disciples of the Medicine Valley is their aura and willpower. The disciples of the Medicine Valley are not afraid of strong enemies. As long as they are provoked, they will fight to the end. The Taishin Peak's disciple Mo Qin pursued his enemy for more than 10 years in order to avenge his junior brother. This is his aura. The disciples of the Medicine Valley have the courage to fight to the end. This is also their aura. This is something that we, the disciples of the O clan, must learn from, O Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. The disciples of the O clan bowed and listened to O Shuero's words. The O clan used to be a first-rate force among the subordinate forces of the Golden Flame sect. It had been around for a long time. The O clan system was very strict. The requirements for the disciples of the O clan were also very strict. Therefore the disciples of the O clan were not good for nothings. They immediately understood. In the future the O clan and the Medicine Valley will be allies in the same camp. To put it bluntly, without a venerable, our O clan is actually a subordinate force. It's just that the Medicine Valley respects us. Therefore, interacting more with the disciples of the Medicine Valley and becoming friends will only bring us benefits. O Shuero said to the disciples of the O clan. Elder, then is it appropriate for us to visit Night Sorrow? O Zijing asked. After all, Obin died in the hands of Night Sorrow. Let's not talk about the past. Looking at the future, I won't object to you guys interacting with Night Sorrow, O Shuero said. Night Sorrow left Danding Peak and rushed towards Danding City. He hadn't seen Sikong Chuyu and Yang Lei for half a month. He missed them. Tianyu's speed was much faster than before. In less than 4 hours, Night Sorrow returned to the Dragon Spring courtyard. 13. Why didn't you break through this time? Seeing that Night Sorrow's cultivation was already at the peak of level 5, Aoi asked. This wasn't Night Sorrow's character. I also wanted to, but I was chased away by Elder Su. He didn't want me to stay up there for too long, Night Sorrow said helplessly. Just accept his good intentions. It's the same if you break through after coming back. The Dragon Spring Courtyard can calm your mind and concentrate. It's actually more suitable for breaking through. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu walked out of the hall. I know, that's why I came back, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Hurry up and break through. The matter of the alternate space is a little troublesome, Yang Lei said. What's up with the latest X chapter? Night Sorrow asked. The matter of the alternate space is now a hot topic. Space channels have appeared in the Thunder Rumbling sect and the Holy Light religion. According to the news, the space channel they found is the same as the one we found in the Medicine Valley area. It's full of baleful aura, Yang Lei said. Could it be that there are several more channels in the same space? Night Sorrow frowned. Such a situation was very unfavorable. In other words, after entering the alternate space, there would be many opponents. If that's the case, then it's not a space. It's likely to be a small world, a world that hasn't been explored by humans. It's full of opportunities and also full of crises, Always said. Opportunities are medicinal herbs and refining materials. In fact, I don't care much about it. I just want to go in and broaden my horizons, Night Sorrow said with a smile. You're just talking about small opportunities. There are many big opportunities. In such a world, it's most likely that the origin stone will appear. It's the crystallization of the origin energy between heaven and earth, which is of great help to cultivators, Sikong Chuyu said. Chapter 272. A Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Origin stones don't just contain energy, they also contain attributes, laws, and so on. The most precious origin stones are the cores of spaces or worlds. They are also known as space origin. However, it's difficult to obtain them. This is a book about small spaces and small worlds. Take a look. Aoi took out a book and tossed it to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow took the book and began to read it. As he read, Night Sorrow gained a better understanding of the unknown space. Space and worlds were created because of the heart of origins, also known as space origins. If the space was large enough, it would be called the heart of the world. The attributes of space and world were also determined by his heart of origin. For example, if it was a space filled with darkness and evil, then its heart of origin could be the heart of darkness. In a world filled with fire and fire-attributed energy, its world core was most likely a fire-attributed world core. It was impossible to obtain such origin stones or world cores. The origin stones of space and worlds were hidden in the depths of a world, but origin stones of other attributes could appear. However, they were incredibly rare, and it was recorded in ancient records that those without great fate would not be able to obtain them. Baidu search AI go female sign shao say www.ichuxs. The most important function of the origin stone was that it was a medium for venerables to enter the saint realm. After entering the Exalt realm, one had to attain the unity of the world and be able to control a portion of the energy of the world. If one wanted to enter the saint realm, then one had to grasp the energy of the laws. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens for cultivators to enter the venerable realm and reach the state of being one with the world. Not even one out of tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of cultivators could do it. There was no need to mention how difficult it was to enter the saint realm. The energy of the laws was a form of manifestation of the ability of the Heaven Tao. Yes, it's good to understand it. Night Sorrow took out his Fey Illustrated Handbook and searched for the Origin Stone's introduction and sketch. The Fey Illustrated Handbook only introduced the Origin Stone's characteristics and didn't have any pictures. It only stated that the Origin Stone contained a very strong origin attribute, and anyone who saw it would naturally recognize it. After returning Gu Dian to Aoi and putting away the Fey Encyclopedia, Night Sorrow pondered for a moment and felt that all of this was somewhat illusory. After entering this special space, he had to quickly raise his cultivation level to ensure his safety. Night Sorrow knew that his current core condensation realm cultivation base was not enough. After all, there were other forces disciples below the 4th stage. If a peak core condensation realm cultivator went in, it was possible for them to break through. Currently, Night Sorrow could kill early-stage 4th-order cultivators, but that was only for ordinary cultivators. The genius disciples of Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling School were already powerful, so it was not easy to kill them. What are you thinking about? Yang Lei waved her hand in front of Night Sorrow's eyes. First 5 shots, I'm going to break through. Night Sorrow stood up and nodded to Yang Lei, Aoi, and Sikong Chuyu before returning to his room. If everything goes well, 13 might be able to enter the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm when the sect opens the spatial passage. Yang Lei calculated for a moment and said, "That's right," Yang Lei said after calculating for a while. "That's right." Aoi nodded. There were still nearly 2 months left. After Night Sorrow broke through this time, he would reach the 6th level of core formation. If he went back to Danding Peak to train, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to achieve a level in 2 months. After entering the 7th level of the core condensation realm, eating the Yuan congealing pill would give one the strength of a peak 7th level core condensation realm cultivator. After spending more than half a day, Night Sorrow managed to condense his 6th true chi halo, raising his strength to the 6th level of core condensation. Feeling the true chi in his dantian, Night Sorrow continued to break through. He wanted to break through the 2nd level of the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome, which was to strengthen the bone marrow of his legs. Thinking of the pain, Night Sorrow shivered. Night Sorrow had already experienced the pain of strengthening his bone marrow, and it was simply unbearable. However, no matter how painful it was, Night Sorrow could not give up on cultivating the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome. While stabilizing the true chi in his dantian, Night Sorrow began to break through the Myriad Dao Treasured Tome. The energy entered the bone marrow through his legs, and waves of pain invaded Night Sorrow's mind. Sweat flowed down his forehead, and his body uncontrollably trembled. In order to resist the pain, Night Sorrow clenched his hands, clenched his teeth, and continued to control the energy to enter the bone marrow of his legs. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow successfully strengthened the bone marrow of his legs. When he stood up, Night Sorrow found that his body was soaked in sweat. Night Sorrow went to the celestial water lake to take a bath. After changing his clothes, he began to practice the killing fist and chasing wind spear technique. The human body was a tree and the legs were poles. With the poles, it was much easier to exert force. After cultivating for 2 hours, Night Sorrow went back to stabilize his cultivation. After dawn, Night Sorrow went to the dining room. Hai Luo and Luo Wei had already prepared the dishes. Just as Night Sorrow sat down, Aoi, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu came in. "Not bad. Core condensation stage is now level 6. You can still advance before the space channel opens. If you advance one more level, you can directly take the Yuan congealing pill." Yang Lei looked at Night Sorrow and said, "I have a question that I don't understand. Holy Light Religion and Thunder Rumbling School have found the space channel, but the energy in their newly discovered channel is unstable, so they can't enter it. Why didn't our Medicine Valley enter it in advance?" Night Sorrow asked. After the news came from there, Great Elder and Master went to the space channel to check it out. The same thing happened. The energy in the space channel is unstable again, so we can't enter it. We have to wait for the violent energy to stabilize before we can enter. Therefore there is no opportunity. Yang Lei said. "That's good, it also gives me more time." Night Sorrow said with a smile. "I estimate that there are not only these few space channels but also other entrances. Therefore the competition this time will be very fierce." Sikong Chiyu said with some worry. "The competition is nothing. After all, everyone is under the 4th order. Even if there is a gap, the gap won't be too big. The situation inside the space is the hidden danger." Night Sorrow said his own opinion. After chatting with everyone for a while, Night Sorrow went to cultivate. In fact, he planned to go to Danding Cliff, but he didn't want to leave so soon. Therefore he met with Yang Lei and Sikong Chiyu. Night Sorrow steadily cultivated, but the outside world was bustling with noise and excitement. The forces without a space channel in their territory were very annoyed. This was equivalent to losing an opportunity. Therefore, the forces with a space channel in their territory were preparing. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow said goodbye to the several women. He wanted to go to Danding Cliff to continue to improve his cultivation. He wanted to reach core condensation stage level 7 as soon as possible. Night Sorrow was 100 miles away from the Dragon Spring courtyard when he was stopped by Yin Shui and a masked woman. Both of them were standing in the air. Seeing this situation, Night Sorrow controlled Tianyu to land. Chapter 273. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Jumping down from Tianyu's back, Night Sorrow cupped his hands toward Yin Shui and the masked woman. "I am Lan Yuxuan, the supervisor of Tianji Tower's headquarters. I originally came to see the situation in Eastern Profound Domain, but I happened to hear about the space channel, so I wanted to communicate with you." Lan Yuxuan, the masked woman, said. "Let's find a place to sit down and talk." Yin Shui took Lan Yuxuan and Night Sorrow to the edge of an ancient forest. She waved her hand and cut down a few ancient trees, using the tree stumps as stools. Night Sorrow found a place to sit down. I found some ancient books and found that this space is likely to be an ancient void space. It appeared once before, 10,000 years ago. At that time, the space channel that appeared was full of evil aura, and no one could go in. This time, the evil aura is not very strong, so anyone below the fourth order can enter. Lan Yuxuan said. Is there anything I can do? If I can do it, then I will do my best. If not, then I am sorry. Night Sorrow said. Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui looked at each other. They didn't expect Night Sorrow to be so direct, going straight to the point. Tianji Tower needs the Destiny Stone. That is, the Origin Stone. Lan Yuxuan said. You know the Origin Stone, so you know its value. Isn't this request unreasonable? Night Sorrow looked at Yin Shui and Lan Yuxuan and said. It is indeed a bit unreasonable, so let's talk. Lan Yuxuan narrowed her eyes and looked at Night Sorrow. She didn't expect that a third-order Night Sorrow could talk with her and Yin Shui without any pressure. First of all, it's hard to say whether there is the Origin Stone or not. Even if there is, what are my chances of getting it? Holy Light Temple and Thunder Rumbling Sect have a large number of third-order disciples. What if a peak third-order disciple breaks through? Their chances of getting the treasure are much higher than mine. Night Sorrow said. You are too modest. Tianji Tower has a very detailed record of your growth. Some time ago you were only at the 5th level of core condensation stage, but you killed more than one spirit severing stage cultivator. Now that you are at the 6th level of core condensation stage, are you still afraid of a peak third-order opponent? Lan Yuxuan said, at the same time took out a piece of paper, which recorded Night Sorrow's situation. Night Sorrow didn't speak, because Tianji Tower's information was too. The Destiny Stone is very precious. Tianji Tower is very clear about this, so they won't take advantage of you. If you get the water attribute Destiny Stone, then Tianji Tower will exchange it with something of the same value. If you don't want to exchange, then you can lend it to Tianji Tower for a period of time for observation. After the observation, Tianji Tower will return it to you without any damage and give you some compensation. Lan Yuxuan said. If it's just for observation without any damage, then I have no objection, but let's talk about it after I get the Origin Stone. Night Sorrow said. He understood that Tianji Tower was indeed sincere. Okay, this time it's very dangerous. We don't care about the opponent, you can solve it yourself. However, the Void Fiend space is very scary. It's very difficult to replenish the energy consumed by the cultivator. It takes a long time to recover by taking medicinal pills. This is the Spirit Spring liquid provided by Tianji Tower. No matter how much energy you consume, you can fully recover within 3 drops. Lan Yuxuan handed over a jade bottle. Night Sorrow didn't stand on ceremony and directly took it in his hand and put it away. Be careful. Whether you get something or not, and whether you're willing to exchange with Tianji Tower, we don't want anything to happen to you. You're Tianji Tower's treasure. Lan Yuxuan looked at Night Sorrow and said. Thank you for your concern, Lord. Night Sorrow will be careful. Night Sorrow cupped his fists to Yin Shui and Lan Yuxuan. Okay, then you go do your thing. I'll be staying in Danding City for a while. Lan Yuxuan nodded to Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow cupped his fists to Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui, then flashed onto Tianyu's back and left. Lord Supervisor, he deserves the 2 stars of the Heavenly Fate Assessment, right? Deputy Pavilion Master Lei has the idea of giving him 3 stars, but he's worried that the headquarters will think we're unfair, Yin Shui said. Lan Yuxuan came to the Eastern Shen domain this time to verify whether Night Sorrow passed the 2 stars of the Heavenly Fate Assessment. It's not too much to give him 3 stars. You know, he's only been cultivating for a year and a half. Not to mention his amazing speed, the most important thing is his ability to fight above his level. He's no longer just fighting above his level. He's at the 5th level of the core formation stage, and he's able to kill the divinity stage. With this, he's qualified to be given 3 stars. As for whether he can pass the headquarters review, that's another matter, Lan Yuxuan said. Our Eastern Shen domain plans to give him 3 stars when he enters the divinity stage, Yin Shui said. If he can come back from the alternate space safe and sound, we can give him 3 stars. I'm also willing to be a referrer, Lan Yuxuan said. Night Sorrow didn't care about the appearance of Lan Yuxuan and Yin Shui. He went straight back to Danding Cliff and began to cultivate. This time, Elder Su also said something to make Night Sorrow relax. After knowing about the opening of the alternate space, he understood that Night Sorrow needed to improve his cultivation quickly. Night Sorrow rushed to the 5,500-meter platform and began to cultivate directly. He could still break through a little more, but he didn't want to waste his energy. Sitting cross-legged, Night Sorrow used the pressure from Danding Cliff to stabilize his cultivation. A solid cultivation was the foundation. For example, if he used all his genuine chi to make a move, he might be able to make 10 moves if he had a solid foundation, but if he had a weak foundation he might not be able to make 7 moves. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, Night Sorrow relaxed his body and mind and began to absorb energy with all his strength. On Wuwei Peak, Yi Shui and a young man were drinking tea together. "Yu, don't you plan to take first place on the pill list?" Yi Shui asked his youngest cousin in the family. "Lin Tianjue? I'll take some time to take him down. However, I heard from my disciples that the strongest person on the pill list isn't Lin Tianjue. It's someone called Night Sorrow. I haven't seen him fight, but I heard from my disciples about his experience. I feel that he's worthy of his reputation." Yu said. "Indeed, but he's not ranked on the pill list. He doesn't need merit points or anything, but you do." Yi Shui looked at his stubborn cousin and said, "So I plan to fight with him first, then deal with Lin Tianjue." Yu spoke his thoughts. "You really don't need to fight with Night Sorrow. Just take down Lin Tianjue." Yi Shui said. Between Yu and Lin Tianjue, Yi Shui was very confident that his cousin could win. However, compared to Yu and Night Sorrow, Yi Shui didn't have the confidence. It wasn't that Yu wasn't outstanding enough, but that Night Sorrow was too heaven-defying. He was far more dangerous than Lin Tianjue, who was at the peak of the core condensation realm. "Cousin, are you worried that I'll lose?" "Winning or losing isn't important. Even if I lose, I have to know where I lost. Only then can I improve. How can someone who doesn't dare to lose be qualified to talk about winning? I've asked around. Night Sorrow is cultivating at Danding Cliff. I plan to challenge him and Lin Tianjue at the beginning of next month, which is before the space passage opens." Yu stated his decision. Yi Shui didn't say anything about Yu's decision, because this was the insistence of cultivators. Night Sorrow cultivated for 7 or 8 days and reached the mid-stage of the core condensation realm. He felt that his cultivation speed was a little slow, so Night Sorrow surpassed him once again. Night Sorrow's climb caused a sensation once again, because Night Sorrow's height was the Medicine Valley's record. Q version 1 and version 2. Chapter 274. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. At this time, Yu understood why his cousin suggested that he not fight with Night Sorrow. The gap was indeed big. He also often climbed the cliff to cultivate. 5,200 meters was his limit. It was far from the record of 5,400 meters. At this time, Night Sorrow was already moving towards 5,600 meters. This was the gap. After climbing 580 meters, Night Sorrow's true chi and the energy in his body were exhausted. Read novels for free. Forever. Free, relying on the strength of his body, Night Sorrow once again rushed 10 meters. At this time, sweat flowed down his cheeks smoothly. Feeling that he had indeed reached his limit, Night Sorrow's black jade energy burst out from his hands. He grabbed the stairs with both hands and quickly rushed towards the 5,600-meter platform. After reaching the 5,600-meter platform, Night Sorrow half squatted on the stairs, panting and recovering his strength. After recovering his strength, Night Sorrow continued to meditate. Next, Night Sorrow disappointed the others because he stopped moving on the 5,600-meter platform and began to improve his cultivation. "I'm not his opponent," Yu murmured in a low voice. After thinking for a while, Yu came to a conclusion. He was very confident in himself. He felt that even if he was not as good as Night Sorrow, he would not be defeated easily. But now he did not think so because the gap between them was really big. After seeing Night Sorrow's performance, Yu felt that it was very difficult for anyone to defeat Night Sorrow in the core condensation realm. At the very least he could not do it. Night Sorrow is an exception. The Medicine Valley has thousands of years of inheritance and there is only one like him. He is the favorite of this era and the nightmare of other geniuses. It should be a good thing to have such a fellow disciple. He is not only an opponent but also our pride. Elder Su said. Disciple understands. I'll go cultivate now. Yu bowed to Elder Su and went to climb the cliff. Staying at 5,600 meters, Night Sorrow relaxed his body and mind. He absorbed the energy passed down from Danding Cliff and refined it into his own. The disciples on Danding Cliff came and went. Only Night Sorrow remained. When he was thirsty he drank some wine. When he was hungry he took a fasting pill. In the blink of an eye nearly 20 days passed. There was still half a month before the spatial channel opened. Night Sorrow's cultivation base had reached the peak of the 6th rank, the peak of the 3rd level of the bone-forging realm. He had already strengthened the bones in his hands and feet. After strengthening the bone marrow in his hands and feet, Night Sorrow would be able to enter the 4th level of the bone-forging realm. Night Sorrow, who planned to make a breakthrough at Danding Cliff and stabilize his cultivation there, got up and drank a jar of wine. Looking at the sky, he saw that the platform had descended from 5,600 meters to 5,000 meters. The night at Danding Cliff was exceptionally quiet. The chirping of birds and insects could not be heard. There was only the sound of energy washing over the cliff. After sorting out his emotions, Night Sorrow began to make a breakthrough. The first thing he did was to make a breakthrough in his chi. After more than a month of cultivation at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow's chi in his dantian was already saturated. Moreover, it was very condensed. This was the strength of Danding Cliff. Condensing the 7th chi halo was not difficult for Night Sorrow. The difficulty of cultivating chi was in the accumulation of chi and the advancement of a realm. Advancing was not difficult. As long as you accumulated enough chi, advancing would not be a problem. After 2 hours, Night Sorrow successfully condensed the 7th chi halo and advanced to the 7th level of the core formation realm. There was still enough time. Night Sorrow began to strengthen the bone marrow in his hands and feet. As he strengthened his bones, Night Sorrow discovered a problem. The energy in his body could not pass through his hands that had been strengthened by the profound jade spiritual energy and his body's energy. Night Sorrow was a little anxious. If he couldn't strengthen the bone marrow in his hands, then he wouldn't be able to continue cultivating the myriad Tao tome. He would be stuck. Unwilling to fail, Night Sorrow tried to use his energy to break through the bone marrow again. After several attempts, Night Sorrow's mind moved slightly. He controlled his body's energy and the profound jade spiritual energy to break through the bone marrow in his hands. Along with the intense pain, Night Sorrow's heart was filled with joy. This method was effective. Then he could continue to break through. Enduring the freezing pain, Night Sorrow continued to strengthen the bone marrow in his hands. At the same time, he decided that it would be better to have a short period of pain than a long period of pain. The energy in his body also began to strengthen the bone marrow in his feet. Night Sorrow's body trembled like a sieve. He used all his energy to resist the invasion of the pain. Fortunately, it didn't take long. Before dawn, Night Sorrow completed his breakthrough to the 3rd stage of the bone-forging realm and entered the 4th stage. After the successful breakthrough, Night Sorrow didn't move. He has been stabilizing his cultivation. After daybreak, Night Sorrow started climbing again. He returned to the 5,600-meter position. After his true energy and the myriad Dao's treasured tome had leveled up, it was much easier for Night Sorrow to reach the 5,600-meter mark. At 5,600 meters, using the energy passed down from Danding Cliff to stabilize his cultivation, Night Sorrow felt much better than before. When his cultivation was completely stabilized, Night Sorrow took out the yuan congealing pill and swallowed it and began to cultivate. Under the pressure of Danding Cliff's energy, taking the yuan congealing pill has minimal drawbacks. After more than 2 days, Night Sorrow completely absorbed and refined the yuan congealing pill, making his cultivation reach the peak of 7th level core condensation. After stabilizing his cultivation for 2 days, when Night Sorrow was about to break through again, he was stopped by Elder Su. Night Sorrow needs to improve his strength, but after a month of continuous high-intensity cultivation, Elder Su felt that he can't continue and needs to stop it. He could not go against the wishes of the sect elders. Yi Shang reluctantly left Danding Cliff. After pondering for a moment, Yi Shang went to the Merit Hall. Night Sorrow said to the Merit Hall elder that he wants to challenge the pill list. Okay, this sect wants to make a notice, who do you want to challenge? But each time you can't exceed level 10. You need a few days to prepare, after all, there are some people who need to be notified. The Merit Hall elder said to Night Sorrow. This disciple intends to challenge the pill list's first rank Lin Tianjua. As for who needs to be challenged from behind, Elder Su can arrange it. Night Sorrow directly expressed his intention. The last time Lin Tianjua despised him at Danding Cliff, Night Sorrow still remembered it in his heart. At that time he didn't attack because his cultivation wasn't enough. Okay, recently EU will also challenge the pill list. You can wait until one day. There are still 5 days left. I will arrange it quickly. You can still be placed together. The elder said. Night Sorrow nodded and left. He went to Danding Palace to meet Yu Yangyu. Don't be too anxious. You are not far from the breakthrough. Cultivation needs to be slow. Seeing Night Sorrow's progress, Yu Yangyu was very satisfied. Night Sorrow's cultivation speed was very fast and very solid. This disciple understands. Disciple will take his leave. After a few words, Night Sorrow bowed to Yu Yangyu. When he left the hall, Night Sorrow saw the Great Elder. After greeting the Great Elder, Night Sorrow left. Chapter 275. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? Show.net provides you with wonderful novels to read. He didn't say anything about challenging the alchemy rankings? Yu Yangyu asked in surprise. The elder of the Merit Hall informed me that Night Sorrow will be challenging the alchemy rankings with EU in 5 days. It seems like before the space tunnel opens, the alchemy rankings will have to be rearranged. EU and 13 will both have good rankings, the Great Elder said with a smile. Yu Yangyu nodded. He knew that Night Sorrow, who was at the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm, should have no opponents in the core formation realm. There was nothing to worry about. Night Sorrow rode Tianyu to the North Pole Peak and drank with Qin Zhen. Qin Zhen's cultivation had increased at a shocking rate. He was already at the peak of the 6th level of the element gathering realm. After drinking, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu back to Longquan Courtyard. Aoi and the others were happy to see Night Sorrow. 13, you've reached the peak of the 7th level of the core formation realm. Why didn't you break through before coming back? Aoi asked. Elder Su chased me back, but it didn't delay my breakthrough. It's the same if I break through after coming back. I just need 2 more days to stabilize. I'll be challenging the alchemy rankings in 5 days, Night Sorrow said. Very good. That bitch Lin Tianjua needs to be dealt with. Yang Lei also remembered Lin Tianjua's provocation. After eating, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu both returned to their own pavilions. Night Sorrow didn't know what to do. Who should he accompany first? Would the other one be angry? Always saw Night Sorrow's confusion. You have to think about the other side of the matter. They both want to give you and the other one a chance. How about this? I'll go accompany your 9th senior sister. You go see Sikong first. Aoi then went to Yang Lei's attic. Night Sorrow hesitated for a moment before going to Sikong Chuyu's place. Night Sorrow, go chat with 9th senior sister. Come back later, Sikong Chuyu said. Look at G% on D chapter, percent. 6th senior sister and 9th senior sister went to chat. I'll accompany you for a while. Night Sorrow sat down and said. Sikong Chuyu nodded and leaned into Night Sorrow's arms. Have you been working hard recently? No, I'm filled with fighting spirit when I think about you, Night Sorrow said in a low voice. The two hugged each other and chatted casually. After chatting for a while, Sikong Chuyu took the initiative to kiss Night Sorrow. I know your intentions. Hurry up and accompany 9th senior sister. I want to cultivate. I want to break through to the 5th stage soon. Love go little say W Chu, nodding he hugged Sikong Chuyu tightly again. Night Sorrow went to Yang Lei's attic. When Night Sorrow arrived, Aoi had just left. After entering the attic, Night Sorrow saw Yang Lei with her chin on her hand, deep in thought. 9th senior sister. Night Sorrow sat beside Yang Lei and said, Why aren't you with Chuyu? Come and accompany me tomorrow. Don't make her feel uncomfortable. Yang Lei got up and pushed Night Sorrow. Chuyu asked me to accompany you. Night Sorrow said with a smile. Then can you hug me to sleep tonight? Don't cultivate. Yang Lei looked up at Night Sorrow and said. Night Sorrow nodded. He was very satisfied with having gentle and considerate women like Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu by his side. After hanging up his robe, Night Sorrow hugged Yang Lei, who had also taken off her outer robe and went to bed. The two lay together and chatted. Yang Lei liked to rest on one of Night Sorrow's arms and hug Night Sorrow. Yang Lei moved a few times from time to time, which made Night Sorrow a little uncomfortable. His body instinctively reacted. Baidu search AI go female sign xiao say www.ichuxs.com 13 Are you up to no good? Yang Lei's voice trembled. 9th senior sister, I didn't do it on purpose. Night Sorrow was a little embarrassed. 9th senior sister knows that you are like this because you like her. However, it is not appropriate for us to be together first. After all, you and Chuyu came first. You can take Chuyu's side and I can do whatever you want. Yang Lei said apologetically. Night Sorrow smiled. Ninth senior sister, don't say that. Let's just chat. 13. Tomorrow ninth senior sister will help you with Chuyu's work. Take her down as soon as possible. This way the three of us can be together. Yang Lei said excitedly. Ninth senior sister, is this appropriate? Night Sorrow did not expect Yang Lei to say this. Yang Lei hammered Night Sorrow's chest. What's inappropriate about it? After chatting for a while, Night Sorrow was a little tired and fell asleep. Early in the morning, Night Sorrow started to cultivate his spear art, fist art and movement art. He wanted his battle art to catch up with his cultivation. When he met with Aoi and Sikong Chuyu, Night Sorrow was a little embarrassed. However, Aoi and Sikong Chuyu did not say anything. After drinking a cup of tea together, Night Sorrow went into seclusion to try to break through to level 8. This way he would have time to stabilize his cultivation and participate in the pill ranking challenge. When Night Sorrow went into seclusion, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu went to Skywater Lake. Yang Lei said something to Sikong Chuyu who was standing beside her. Then Sikong Chuyu's face and ears turned red. Ninth senior sister, what are you talking about? Don't be embarrassed. If you and Night Sorrow are really together, your family can only accept it. Jiyu's family will not force you anymore. Sikong Chuyu did not say anything. She knew that Yang Lei's words made sense, but it was too embarrassing. Chuyu, if you don't get together with 13, we can't be together. Are you planning to let me die alone? Yang Lei asked with a smile. Ninth senior sister, these things are better left to nature. How can I say it out loud? Sikong Chuyu was embarrassed by Yang Lei's words. We are good sisters, a family. That's why I'm telling you this. In the outside world, I'm a prestigious city lord. Yang Lei said with a smile. Night Sorrow's breakthrough was very smooth. In the evening he successfully broke through. However, he did not come out and was still stabilizing his cultivation. Ninth junior sister, 13's cultivation speed is too fast for us. Aoi said with a bitter smile. In less than 2 years, Night Sorrow's cultivation went from nothing to the 8th level of the core formation realm. Not to mention other places, this speed was unheard of in the history of the Medicine Valley for thousands of years. If this goes on, he won't be far from entering the spirit-severing stage. His cultivation is solid, unlike us who get stuck every time we break through. Which one of us hasn't been stuck for a few years? He's already in the peak of the essence-gathering realm without stabilizing his cultivation. It's no wonder his cultivation speed is fast, Yang Lei said. His body is strong and he got special privileges on Danding Cliff. Coupled with his incomparable hard work, he laid the foundation for his cultivation to improve quickly. I'm going to take a look at the alchemy ranking challenge. Are you going? Aoi looked at Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu and asked. Sixth senior sister, if you're going, how can I not go? I'll take Chuyu with me, Yang Lei said. That's right. As a senior sister, I'm already so nervous. You're a family. It's no wonder you're nervous. Aoi said with a smile. In a pavilion on Tianyue Peak, Lin Tianjue's face was gloomy. Qin Zhan and the others were also there. Chapter 276. Genius 1 second remember love/go/little? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Lin Tianjue glared at Qin Zhan. He didn't like Qin Zhan. If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have been slapped by Yang Lei. Qin Zhan and the rest knew that Night Sorrow's cultivation was lower than Lin Tianjue's, so they had confidence in Lin Tianjue. They didn't go to Danding Cliff to cultivate, so they didn't know about Night Sorrow's recent situation. However, Lin Tianjue was very clear. Don't cause trouble in the future. The Elixir List Challenge is fair and above board. Don't put too much importance on winning or losing. If the other peaks can unite against outsiders, why can't we? Luo Daoyuan came to Lin Tianjue's pavilion. Wanyong si jiodi? Exempt #DFN look little, speak. Lin Tianjue and the rest stood up. If you know you're not as good as others, then work hard to catch up. Look at the difference. Qin Zhan, you were a disciple on the Yuan roll. Night Sorrow hasn't even entered the sect yet. Now he has already challenged the elixir list. What about you? Are you still lying on the ground? Luo Daoyuan glanced at Qin Zhan. Luo Daoyuan liked to scheme, but he had to look at the big picture of the sect. If Night Sorrow could win glory for the sect, he wouldn't scheme against him. This was his principle. Lin Tianjue and the rest bowed. They didn't dare to disobey Luo Daoyuan's orders. Tianjue, don't lose your momentum in the elixir list challenge. We're all from the same sect. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Learn from Night Sorrow and be more domineering. Luo Daoyuan instructed his disciples. After Yi Shang stabilized his cultivation, the few of them sat on the demon beasts and flew back to Danding Peak. They returned directly to the little house in the bamboo forest. Not long after they returned, Gong Xian and the rest arrived. "You're back. Why don't you go to the main hall?" Gong Xian said after sitting down. "Eldest senior brother, don't be angry. We just came back. Don't we have to tidy up?" Always said with a smile. 13 level 8 core condensation is enough. Take back the first place. Huan looked at Night Sorrow and said, "Third senior brother, I will work hard." Night Sorrow nodded at Huanan. Drinking was inevitable when the two of them were together. In the evening, Yang Lei suggested that they go to the bamboo forest peak to rest. Sikong Chuyu nodded, and Night Sorrow had no objections either. The three of them walked back to the bamboo house on Bamboo Forest Peak. "Night Sorrow, this is your territory. Get someone to renovate this place tomorrow. Otherwise, our guests won't have a place to stay." Seeing that Night Sorrow had 3 bamboo houses, Yang Lei frowned. Night Sorrow was a second-generation disciple, so he should have some special treatment. The other Taishan Peak disciples' practice areas were much better than Night Sorrow's. Love Gone Little Seika, I'm not here often, so I didn't make any special arrangements. Eldest senior brother didn't think about this either, Night Sorrow said with a smile. Yang Lei nodded. She knew that Gong Xian and the others definitely didn't ignore Night Sorrow. Perhaps they felt that Night Sorrow didn't come back often, so there was no need for him to do so. That night, Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu cultivated in the same room, while Night Sorrow had his own room. After resting for 2 days, Night Sorrow and the 2 girls came to Dao Seeking Cliff. Sikong Chuyu put on a veil. When Night Sorrow and the other 2 arrived, many people were already there. Yang Lei pulled Sikong Chuyu to the 3rd-generation disciples of Taishan Peak. However, the 2 of them were still very obvious. The main thing was their aura, which the 3rd-generation disciples couldn't compare to. Many people came today, including the disciples of the Yuan Roll. They also wanted to watch the battle between the disciples of the Alchemy Roll. Yu Yangyu was also there. Usually he didn't need to care about such things, but Night Sorrow was his last disciple. Most of the disciples of the Alchemy Roll were there, and they stayed in a special area. According to the requirements, only those who had to participate in the battle had to come. However, the Battle of the Alchemy Roll was also an opportunity for others to gain practical experience. The first battle was between Yu and Lin Tianjue. Yu challenged Lin Tianjue. Both of them cultivated sword techniques, and their sword techniques were very exquisite. After a few rounds of battle, Lin Tianjue was suppressed. He was at a disadvantage in terms of attack strength and speed. After fighting for 10 minutes, Yu finished testing the waters. Yu's attack changed. He waved his sword, creating afterimages, and forced Lin Tianjue to retreat step by step. Then Lin Tianjue used his battle technique, Tianjue Sword Technique. However, he couldn't reverse the situation. He only lasted a little longer. After Lin Tianjue was defeated, Yu took the 10th place. Yu became the first on the Alchemy Roll. Then another disciple came out to challenge. Night Sorrow understood that the Medicine Valley had arranged the challenges on this day. However, this disciple of the Alchemy Roll didn't succeed. While he increased his strength, his opponent's strength also increased. Elder Zhu, who was in charge of guarding the Dao Seeking Cliff, looked at Night Sorrow. "Challenger, Night Sorrow, please enter the arena. The challenged Ming Li, please come out." Night Sorrow walked into the arena with the reincarnation spear in his hand. "Uncle Master Yi, you killed a Tier 4 cultivator at the level 5 core formation realm. I admit defeat." After Ming Li came out, he cupped his hands at Night Sorrow and bowed to Elder Zhu. Ming Li admits defeat. Night Sorrow is ranked 91st on the Alchemy Roll. Ming Li, you can use your merit points to continue the challenge. Elder Zhu announced the result. After the first round, Elder Zhu announced the 81st contestant to enter the arena. The 81st contestant on the Alchemy Roll was a female disciple of Crepe Myrtle. She had heard about Night Sorrow's battle results from her senior sisters and uncle masters. She knew that she was no match for him and admitted defeat directly. The next few contestants also admitted defeat directly. When it came to the 51st contestant, Chao Yang, a disciple of Danding Peak, accepted the challenge. Chao Yang had seen Night Sorrow fight at the Supremacy Celebration Conference. He didn't believe that Night Sorrow's combat strength could keep up with his cultivation level. Chao Yang cultivated the Scorching Sun Saber technique of the Medicine Valley. The Scorching Sun Saber technique was very domineering and its saber aura was swift and violent. Even if one's cultivation level was higher, one might not be able to suppress it. Cupping his hands towards Night Sorrow, Chao Yang took 2 steps forward and slashed towards Night Sorrow with his saber. Night Sorrow took a step forward and stabbed his reincarnation spear forward. The body of the spear was naturally imbued with the Vibration Sutra. Ding! Chao Yang's powerful saber was instantly repelled by the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow quickly extended his right hand and broke the knot on Chao Yang's battle robe. Chao Yang took a few steps back and looked at the broken knot on his robe in a daze. A level 9 core condensation realm cultivator was defeated by Night Sorrow, who was a level 8 core condensation realm cultivator, in one move. This was an exchange of pointers. If it was a battle of life and death, he would have been killed in one move. Thank you for letting me win. Night Sorrow cupped his hands towards the dazed Chao Yang. Martial uncle, can you tell me what kind of spear art you used just now? Chao Yang, who had regained his senses, bowed towards Night Sorrow. Wind-chasing spear art. However, I changed it a little. I added vibration force to the original foundation. Night Sorrow didn't hide anything from Chao Yang. Chao Yang am sincerely convinced. Chao Yang bowed towards Elder Zhu and retreated. Following which, the 41st, 31st, 21st and 11th contestants on the elixir list admitted defeat. Night Sorrow, you can directly challenge the first contestant. Elder Zhu looked at Night Sorrow and said. Chapter 277. Genius Remembers Love in 1 Second/Small? We provide you with interesting novels to read. Are you targeting me on purpose? Lin Tianjue looked at Night Sorrow with eyes full of anger. Lin Tianjue originally thought that Night Sorrow's challenge had nothing to do with him. He was waiting for Night Sorrow to finish his challenge and challenge the second and third place. That way he would still have a decent ranking. But now he, who was only 1 rank higher than Night Sorrow, was being challenged. Then why? Night Sorrow asked Lin Tianjue. Lin Tianjue didn't know how to answer Night Sorrow's question. Then I'll answer you. Those who are friendly to me, I will be friendly to them. Those who look down on me, I will beat them back. Lin Tianjun didn't say the reason, but Yi Shang did. Lin Tianjue's face turned green and red. He couldn't help but feel embarrassed. Junior brother Knight, he already knows his mistake. We are all from the same sect. Don't make things difficult for him, Luo Daoyuan, who came with Lin Tianjue, said. Senior brother Luo, Night Sorrow values our friendship as fellow disciples. But has he? His temperament is bad. If he didn't mention that I was targeting him, this would just be a simple exchange of pointers, Night Sorrow said. Luo Daoyuan nodded. He knew that Night Sorrow's words made sense. Lin Tianjue's temperament was indeed bad. This was just a simple exchange of pointers. It was a problem to think so far ahead. At this moment, Lin Tianjue had no choice but to leave the arena. He held his sword and went to the center of the arena. Make your move. Night Sorrow said to Lin Tianjue as he shook the reincarnation spear in his right hand. Quick, let's go. Lin Tianjue's body flashed. He went around Night Sorrow's front and attacked Night Sorrow from the side. He already knew that Night Sorrow was very strong in head-on combat and didn't dare to attack head-on. Night Sorrow's right arm shook. No matter how Lin Tianjue flashed or attacked from any direction, the reincarnation spear was always in front of him. After sensing Lin Tianjue's speed, Night Sorrow executed Soaring Dragon Steps and began his attack. As Night Sorrow executed the Soaring Dragon Steps, Lin Tianjue's speed was no longer enough. In an instant he was forced to retreat by Night Sorrow. Not daring to fight Night Sorrow head-on, and not being able to keep up with his speed, Lin Tianjue's battle was very ugly. Night Sorrow decided to end the battle when he saw that Lin Tian did not want to fight him head-on. He channeled the energy of the 10,000 Tao Tome into his legs. Night Sorrow's speed suddenly increased as the myriad Tao Tome's energy poured into him. He caught up with Lin Tianjue in an instant and thrust his spear at Lin Tianjue's throat. Baidu search AI go female sign Xiao say www.ichuxs. It was too fast. Night Sorrow's speed increased by 50%. His full speed attack left behind a few afterimages. In addition, the speed of the reincarnation spear's attack was also extremely fast. Lin Tianjue had no chance to dodge at all. In a hurry, Lin Tianjue swung his sword to block. Ding! With a crisp sound, Lin Tianjue's long sword was sent flying by the reincarnation spear. Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear stopped an inch away from Lin Tianjue's throat. After glancing at Lin Tianjue, Night Sorrow retreated to his original position. Lin Tianjue's face was very ugly. He, who was originally ranked first on the elixir rankings, didn't even have the power to fight back in front of Night Sorrow. The difference was too big. I Gong Xiao say Wu, following which, Elder Zhu announced the results of the competition. Night Sorrow reached the 10th place and Lin Tianjue dropped 1 place. I'm not your opponent, but I still want to know the difference between us. At this moment EU stepped out. He had to step out. Even if Night Sorrow didn't challenge him, he had to step out. It was embarrassing to be ranked first without relying on one's strength. Night Sorrow nodded at EU and took a few steps back. What could he say? Was it good to know the difference between them? Was it a chance to gain practical experience? It didn't seem appropriate. After Elder Zhu announced the start of the competition, EU attacked Night Sorrow with his sword. His sword technique was very fast. It was the famous fast sword technique of the Medicine Valley, the Thousand Feather Sword technique. EU's sword was very fast, but Night Sorrow's reincarnation spear was even faster. Every time EU attacked, he would be interrupted by Night Sorrow. After fighting for half a cup of tea's time, EU retreated. Thank you for your guidance. EU knew that speed wasn't Night Sorrow's strongest point. Even so, he was still defeated in the field that he was good at. After EU and Night Sorrow separated, Elder Zhu announced the results and rankings of the competition. Since I can't get the first place, I'll try the second place, EU muttered softly and told Elder Zhu that he wanted to challenge the second place. The second place was Gu Lin, a disciple of the Cloud Sea Peak. Although he knew that EU was strong, he didn't admit defeat immediately. He only did so after exchanging pointers for a while. After getting the second place, EU returned to his seat on the elixir rankings to rest. Lin Tianjue also wanted to challenge. No matter what, he couldn't fall out of the top 10. Elder Zhu, this rule isn't very reasonable. Those who were defeated still have the strength of the top 10. They have to fight their way back. Those who were defeated still have to fight their way back. It's very troublesome, Yu Yangyu said. That's indeed the case. Valley Master, do you have any good suggestions? Elder Zhu bowed to Yu Yangyu. I feel that in the future the loser should be demoted by 1 place. After all, those who can enter the top 10 are all capable, Yu Yangyu said after pondering for a moment. Valley Master's suggestion is very good. It can be approved in the next Elders meeting. Elder Zhu nodded. He felt that Yu Yangyu's suggestion was very reasonable. After all, the top few disciples who were defeated and fell out of the top 10 still had to challenge their opponents. Their strength was there for all to see. Next, Lin Tianjue defeated the 3rd-place disciple and took the 3rd place. Gu Lin, are you still going to challenge? Or are you waiting for the new rules? Elder Zhu looked at Gu Lin and asked. Then I'll wait for the new rules. Gu Lin and EU's battle was very intense. Even if they recovered their true chi, they weren't at their peak. Night Sorrow and EU could easily defeat the top 10 disciples of the pill leaderboard, but he couldn't. Seeing that there were no more challengers, Elder Zhu announced the end of the challenge. Night Sorrow went to Yu Yangyu and bowed. After nodding to Night Sorrow, Yu Yangyu stood up and said to the disciples of the pill leaderboard, Not bad. Disciples of the pill leaderboard, gather at the pill cauldron square in 2 days. Inform each other. The space tunnel was about to open. Only core condensation cultivators could enter. The pill leaderboard disciples were the only choice. After everyone left, Night Sorrow and the others returned to the Taishan Peak. Very domineering. The first place of the pill leaderboard is a piece of cake. Gong Xian looked at Night Sorrow and said. He felt proud to have a junior brother like Night Sorrow. The space tunnel is about to open. Outside, senior brother and senior sister can keep an eye on you. Once you enter the alternate space, you'll have to rely on yourself. Huanan's eyes were filled with worry. Night Sorrow nodded. I'll be careful. Gong Xian looked at Night Sorrow. Also, you have to remember one thing. Demonic beasts are your enemies, but the people around you can also be your enemies. It's fine if you don't gain anything, but once you gain something, anything can happen. Remember, don't go easy on anyone who wants to harm you. Chapter 278. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. No matter who it is, as long as they have ill intentions towards you, you don't have to be polite. If anything happens, senior brother and senior sister will support you, Yang Lei said to Night Sorrow. 13 eldest senior brother and 9th senior sister are right. However, it is still good to unite some forces in there. After all, you may encounter people from other factions. You have to be careful, always said. Knight Sorrow nodded. He knew that his senior brother and senior sister were doing this for his own good. We have to prepare what we should and shouldn't. No one knows what's going on in that alternate dimension, Wuxia reminded Yishan. Thank you, senior brother and senior sister. I will be careful. Knight Sorrow nodded. Eldest senior brother, when you have time, arrange for people to build 2 bamboo buildings for 13th Bamboo Forest Peak. We have a few guests there. We don't even have a room to rest, Yang Lei said. This is eldest senior brother's mistake. Previously, 13 was in the Dragon Spring courtyard and was not in a hurry to make arrangements. We will deal with this later, Gong Xian said with a smile. Then everyone dispersed. Aoi pulled Night Sorrow to the Bamboo Forest Pavilion and asked Night Sorrow to pack some wine. Then Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu accompanied Night Sorrow to Grass Valley Town to buy some jerky and daily necessities. After buying everything, they returned to Bamboo Forest Peak. At night, Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder came to Bamboo Forest Peak mainly to give Night Sorrow the Cauldron Spirit Liquid. This was Night Sorrow's treatment this year. Your master and I have been discussing whether to let you go or not. If you go, it will be very dangerous. If you don't go, you will miss out on the opportunity. What do you think? The Great Elder said to Night Sorrow. Disciple has decided to go. Perhaps there will be danger or even death, but this is also an opportunity. Night Sorrow made his decision. That's fine. Let's be prepared. The Great Elder nodded. He was conflicted in his heart. He really didn't want Night Sorrow to take the risk. After cultivating for 2 days, Night Sorrow went to the Pill Cauldron Plaza to gather, because today was the day of departure. Ninth senior sister Sikong Chuyu, wait for me here. Chuyu, I'll be waiting for the good news of your breakthrough, Night Sorrow said to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Night Sorrow gave a portion of the medicinal cauldron spirit liquid to Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu. Originally, he intended to give all of it to them, but the 2 of them only asked for a portion. They knew that Night Sorrow's trip to the alternate dimension this time was very dangerous. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu both nodded. We'll send you to the Pill Tripod Square. Night Sorrow didn't refuse. The 3 of them sat on a flying demonic beast and arrived at the Pill Tripod Square. Yang 7 Jio 7 Zhuo Fei free. At the Pill Tripod Square, the higher-ups of the Medicine Valley were all present. Night Sorrow's senior brothers and senior sisters of the Taishin Peak were also present. I've already told you about the alternate dimension. No one knows what's going on inside. There are opportunities and dangers. You disciples on the pill ranking can choose to go or not, Yu Yangyu said to the disciples on the pill ranking in the square. Subsequently, some people withdrew. After all, many people were afraid of the unknown. You have to be careful. I have a few words to tell you. This time, a lot of elites have entered the alternate dimension. Holy Light Religion and Thunder Rumbling Sect have found the space channel. In addition, Red Cloud Sect and Nebula Sect have also found a way to enter. Golden Flame Sect, Free and Unfettered Sect, and Southern Dipper Sect's core condensation disciples have also cooperated to send their disciples in. Therefore, this time, the situation is unprecedentedly complicated. Unity is necessary and internal strife is prohibited. Yu Yangyu looked at the Medicine Valley's core condensation disciples and said, this is very important. If internal strife is found, the sect will not let it go easily. The Great Elder repeated. After the speech, Yu Yangyu, the Great Elder, and the higher-ups of the sect set off with the core condensation disciples. Because some of them didn't have a flying demonic beast, they needed the help of others. The group soon arrived at the entrance of the alternate dimension. Only cultivators and demonic beasts below rank 4 can pass through here. If they exceed this level, it will cause a collapse. None of you have a rank 4 tamed beast, so let's not talk about this problem. The other most important thing is that the space channel can only be stable for half a year according to the previous rules. That is to say, after half a year you must come out. The Great Elder reminded the Medicine Valley's disciples. Valley Master, Great Elder, this disciple has a question. What if I break through to the Severed Soul stage inside? Can I still come out? You asked. It doesn't matter. The energy of this space channel is gushing towards the outside. It will not cause any energy impact. The Great Elder said. You can go in. Yu Yangyu waved his hand and said. Following Yu Yangyu's words, the core condensation disciples rushed inside. One by one they were swallowed by a beast. Everyone went in, leaving only Night Sorrow. Night Sorrow bowed to Yu Yangyu and the Great Elder. He cupped his hands to his senior brother and senior sister. He glanced at Yang Lei and the masked Sikong Chuyu again before entering the space channel and disappearing in front of everyone's eyes. You can all go back. During this time, the fourth elder and I will guard the space channel here. The great elder waved his hand to the Medicine Valley's disciples who came to see them off. Yang Lei and Sikong Chuyu left together. Chuyu 13 is gone. Why do I feel so empty? Yang Lei was a little depressed. Me too. We can only wait for him to come out. Sikong Chuyu said. Let's wait for him together. Yang Lei pulled Sikong Chuyu's arm and nodded seriously. After entering the space channel, Night Sorrow felt the pressure. The tyrannical aura rushed towards him. He rushed forward for a while before rushing out and arriving in a new world. Looking up at the gray and tyrannical world, Night Sorrow frowned. He felt very depressed and inexplicably irritated. The aura here is different from our world. Everyone needs to calm down. The aura here will affect your state of mind. Yu said. Gu Lin and the others nodded. Now let's talk. What should we do? Yu asked. The dozens of people who came in looked at each other. The oppressive aura made everyone lose their minds. It's safer to stay together, but at the same time, we will lose the opportunity to find opportunities. Gu Lin said. Night Sorrow, what do you think? Yu was in the same generation as Night Sorrow and did not need to call him Uncle Master like the others. Gu Lin has a point. I think it depends on the person. Those who think safety is the most important should go in a group. Those who want to explore can go alone. Night Sorrow said. Everyone, let's follow this arrangement. Those who are slightly weaker will form a group. Those who feel that they can avoid the risk can act on their own. Yu said and moved forward. He expressed his attitude. He wanted to fly alone. Chapter 279. Genius 1 second. Remember Love Go divided by Shao? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. After Night Sorrow and Yu left, Lin Qinjue thought for a moment and called 2 disciples from the Tianyue Peak to advance. He also wanted to advance alone, but he was afraid of the danger. Baidu search AI Go female sign Shao say www.ichuxs.com. After that, the other disciples on the pill ranking formed a group. Night Sorrow didn't care about this and continued to advance. The violent energy wind wreaked havoc and the trees swayed back and forth. Night Sorrow looked up at the sky and felt that the sky here was very low, and the atmosphere was very oppressive. As they advanced, Night Sorrow tried to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to see if he could cultivate. As he absorbed the energy of heaven and earth, Night Sorrow found a problem. The qi in his dantian couldn't absorb the energy in his body. This energy was too violent. However, the myriad Tao Tomes operation gave Night Sorrow a pleasant surprise. After the violent energy entered his body, it was suppressed by the energy in his flesh and bones. It stabilized and was then assimilated and absorbed. This situation made Night Sorrow very happy. After refining the energy, he used it to strengthen the dragon bones on his back. After advancing for a while, Night Sorrow let Tianyu out. The main reason was to let Tianyu get used to the environment here. After coming out, Tianyu cried out, showing that he wasn't used to it. Night Sorrow took out a beast pill and gave it to Tianyu. Not being able to absorb energy was a great test for Tianyu. Translator. Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Night Sorrow brought Tianyu forward to explore. They didn't advance very quickly. Everything here was very strange. The trees had red leaves and branches, and the grass on the ground was blood red. He could clearly feel the violent energy aura, but he couldn't see or touch it. It gave Night Sorrow a strange feeling. Yishang felt as if he had returned to Bamboo Garden Village and entered the wasteland to hunt. It was familiar yet unfamiliar. Along the way, small animals often appeared. They were all at the first stage of cultivation, but they were very violent. They did not care about Night Sorrow's cultivation level and directly charged at him. In the end, they were all killed by Night Sorrow's spear. However, Night Sorrow also understood the situation here. The demonic beasts were not afraid of death. At night, Night Sorrow built a shack on an old tree. Tianyu squatted on a branch of an old tree to rest. Since he couldn't absorb the energy of heaven and earth to cultivate the Holy Cauldron scripture, Night Sorrow ate the best quality spirit congealing pills to cultivate. In the cultivation of the Myriad Tao treasure book, Night Sorrow not only absorbed violent energy to cultivate, but also ate the dragon bone forging pill. In the void fiend space at night, the violent aura was even heavier. The moon in the sky seemed to be covered with a layer of blood, full of strangeness. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow felt a dangerous aura and woke up from the state of meditation. Night Sorrow went out of the shack and stood on the branch of the old tree looking around. This investigation made Night Sorrow's scalp numb. The ground more than 3 feet away from his feet was full of dense blood-colored ants. The ants were the size of a fist. The ants had surrounded the old tree and climbed up the tree. Night Sorrow quickly put away the animal skin supporting the shack, summoned Tianyu, landed on Tianyu's back, and then rode Tianyu away. Night Sorrow knew that this was because he felt the danger. If he didn't discover it in advance, he would be finished if he was bitten by this kind of vampire ant. This kind of ant was poisonous. After being bitten, the whole body would be paralyzed, and the consequence would be to be directly devoured by the ant. After changing the location, Night Sorrow continued to meditate and cultivate. Wandering around in this kind of night was no different from seeking death. After cultivating until dawn, Night Sorrow drank a few mouthfuls of wine, ate a fasting pill and fed Tianyu a beast pill. After that, he continued to move forward with Tianyu. There were towering old trees everywhere, but the gaps between the old trees were very big. The other plants couldn't compete with the old trees for nutrients, so naturally they couldn't survive. While moving forward, Night Sorrow didn't go aimlessly. He went in the direction where the energy was the densest. He didn't worry about getting lost because he had experience surviving in the wasteland. Tianyu, who was following beside Night Sorrow, didn't stay idle. He hunted the birds that he saw, and from time to time he would peck out 2 scorpions from the ground. Maybe it was because of the special aura, but after killing the birds and scorpions, Tianyu directly ate them. As Night Sorrow went deeper, all kinds of demonic beasts appeared. However, they couldn't withstand Night Sorrow and Tianyu's attacks. In the process of moving forward, Night Sorrow collected a lot of rare materials. The main ingredient of a rank 4 profound meditation pill was the profound meditation grass. The main ingredient of a rank 5 profound meditation pill was the void grass. These things were priceless outside. The herbs here were somewhat different from the ones outside. They contained tyrannical energy, but Night Sorrow felt that after being refined by the alchemy furnace, the tyrannical energy could be separated. Night Sorrow also found a kind of poisonous bone-rotting grass. It was a kind of poisonous grass that would corrode the flesh and bones of humans and animals when it came into contact with it. Night Sorrow smashed one of the bone-rotting grass with a stone, covered the stone with the grass juice and wrapped it in a cloth. If he met an irresistible enemy, he could use it as a hidden weapon. The remaining dozen of them were also kept. After traveling for 3 days, the strongest demonic beast Yishang encountered was a peak rank 3 demonic beast. He didn't feel that it was very dangerous, so Yishang didn't waste any time. He rode Heavenly Feather and flew in the direction of the dense energy. Night Sorrow didn't know how big this void fiendish space was, nor did he know from which area Holy Light Temple, Thunder Rumbling Sect and Red Cloud Sect entered from. He also didn't know if they were closer to the core area than him, but there was nothing wrong with making the best use of his time. While moving forward, Night Sorrow also paid attention to the situation. After all, this was a dangerous area. After flying for a day, after flying for 6,000 to 7,000 miles, Night Sorrow stopped moving forward. He didn't dare to move forward during the night. When he cultivated again, Night Sorrow knew that his judgment was correct. When he cultivated, his body absorbed more energy. During the day he cultivated at night. After half a month of cultivating, Night Sorrow's cultivation of the Myriad Tao treasured book improved very quickly. The main reason was that the energy in this space was very rich. The disadvantage was that it was very violent. Night Sorrow's body could absorb, assimilate and refine the energy, so the problem of violence was not the key. Night Sorrow didn't know how long it would take for him to move forward. During this time, the demonic beasts that he encountered were very high level. When he started walking, Night Sorrow only met 2 rank 3 demonic beasts. But now, standing on Tianyu's back, he could often see rank 3 demonic beasts. However, Night Sorrow didn't care about them and kept moving forward in the direction of the rich energy. Just when Night Sorrow was about to rest on Tianyu, an unexpected situation occurred. 3 tiger eagles appeared in the sky. They were extremely ferocious demonic beasts with a bird's body and a tiger's head. Seeing the 3 tiger eagles rushing toward Tianyu, Night Sorrow took out the sky-piercing spear and threw it toward the 2 demonic beasts with higher cultivation. Chapter 280. Genius 1 second. Remember love go/little? Show on Net provides you with wonderful novels to read. If it was any other time, Night Sorrow wouldn't mind letting Tianyu fight and practice his combat skills. However, he couldn't in the Void Fiend space mainly because it was difficult to replenish energy. Night Sorrow didn't want Tianyu to expend too much energy and was also worried that Tianyu would be injured. Night Sorrow's sky-piercing spears were as fast as lightning, carrying 2 streaks of black light as they shot into the heads of the 2 tiger hawks in front, directly killing them without any suspense. Tianyu, suppress it to the ground. Night Sorrow communicated with Tianyu. There was only one mid-stage rank 3 tiger hawk left. Night Sorrow planned to try taming it. He had a few beast taming crystals with him, so if there was a suitable flying tame beast he would definitely capture it. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, Tianyu's wings flapped and his body rose into the air, dodging the tiger hawk's charge. Then with a spin he landed on the back of the last tiger hawk. A pair of sharp claws pressed down on the tiger hawk's flapping wings, and a sharp beak bit the back of the tiger hawk's neck, firmly suppressing the tiger hawk that was about to flip over. The tiger hawk couldn't fly, so it could only extend its wings as far as possible and land on the ground. Once it landed on the ground it couldn't move. Night Sorrow jumped off Tianyu's back, took out an ice serpent tendon from his storage ring, and tied the tiger hawk's 2 huge wings together. Only then did he retrieve his 2 sky-piercing spears. Standing in front of the tiger hawk's head, Night Sorrow raised his right hand and slapped the tiger hawk's head, because the tiger hawk was glaring at him angrily. Night Sorrow's energy-infused right hand was no different from a weapon. This slap caused the tiger hawk's head to fall to the side. I know your intelligence isn't low and you can understand my words. Now I'll give you 2 choices. Submit or die. Yi Sorrow said to Tiger Eagle, who was still glaring at him, and slapped him again with his right hand. The Tiger Eagle glared at Night Sorrow with its black and red eyes. It kept roaring. Birds chirped, but the Tiger Eagle's roar was a tiger's roar. Looking at Tiger Hawk's eyes, Night Sorrow pressed Tiger Hawk's head with his left hand and slapped him 5 or 6 times with his right hand. The Tiger Eagle's head was swaying and it was dizzy. Let me ask you again, are you going to submit? While Night Sorrow was asking, his right hand was constantly twitching. He knew that the demonic beasts here were different from the ones outside. The demonic beasts here were violent, so he had to use violence to make them submit. After beating it twice and seeing that the Tiger Eagle had no intention of submitting, Night Sorrow took out the sky-piercing spear from his waist. If he couldn't subdue it, then he could only kill it. Seeing Night Sorrow take out the sky-piercing spear, fear appeared in the Tiger Eagle's eyes. It felt the aura of death from the sky-piercing spear. I'll ask you again, are you going to submit or not? Night Sorrow coldly looked at the Tiger Eagle and asked. Hearing Night Sorrow's words, the Tiger Eagle crawled in front of Night Sorrow and stuck its head to the ground. Seeing this, Night Sorrow took back the sky-piercing spear and patted the Tiger Eagle's head. This was to tell the Tiger Eagle that he accepted its submission. After the Tiger Eagle submitted, Night Sorrow went forward and untied the dragon tendons that bound its wings. He knew the demonic beast's character. Once they submitted, they wouldn't betray. Submitting demonic beasts was different from taming beasts. Taming beasts belonged to whoever tamed them, just like Su Chenbai's golden-eyed sparrow. Submitting demonic beasts were extremely valuable. They would absolutely obey orders and wouldn't betray. If Night Sorrow didn't use them, he could give them away. They would also be obedient to their master. Without the original master's orders, even if they died, no one else could control them. Looking at the 2 dead Tiger Eagles, Night Sorrow put away the demonic beast cores and teeth. Then he rode Tianyu and brought the Tiger Eagle a distance away before resting. Looking at the rank 3 level 5 Tiger Eagle, Night Sorrow was filled with joy. Its speed and fighting strength were inferior to Tianyu, but it would be different as they went deeper. Tianyu wasn't used to the tyrannical energy here, but the Tiger Eagle wasn't a problem. After Night Sorrow fed the Tiger Eagle and Tianyu beast pills, he made a shack and began to meditate. After calming down, Night Sorrow knew that he was unknowingly affected by the tyrannical energy in the void fiendish space. Otherwise, he wouldn't have treated the Tiger Eagle so violently. After quietly cultivating for a night, Night Sorrow rode Tianyu forward. As the tyrannical energy became denser, Tianyu's condition began to deteriorate. The consumption was quite large. In this situation, Night Sorrow landed on the Tiger Eagle's back and continued to fly forward. Bored, Night Sorrow took out a bone-rotting grass and smeared the grass juice on the 2 Tiger Eagle's teeth. Then he wrapped them in cloth and put them away. He didn't dare to touch them directly. Out of respect for the unknown, as long as it could increase his ability to protect himself, Night Sorrow didn't care what method it was. As for firing the bone-rotting eagle teeth, Night Sorrow wasn't worried about hurting himself. He wore the azure claw glove on his left hand, so it didn't affect him when he fired it. However, as long as the target was hit by the bone-rotting eagle teeth, it would be miserable. As they advanced, battles occurred from time to time. Night Sorrow didn't do much, it was Tianyu and the tiger eagle that did the killing. When they encountered ordinary flying beasts, Night Sorrow would directly deal with them with the sky-piercing spear. Ordinary beasts weren't worthy of Night Sorrow's attention, so he was too lazy to tame them. The tiger eagle was different. It was a beast with a lot of potential. This rank 3 level 5 wasn't even an adult yet, so it was normal that it wasn't Tianyu's opponent. Not to mention Tianyu's talent, his cultivation was also at the rank 3 level 7, much higher than the tiger eagle. The tyrannical energy was getting more and more intense, suppressing Tianyu. Night Sorrow and Tianyu talked about it and planned to recall Tianyu. However, Tianyu felt that it was still okay and didn't want to be recalled to the beast-taming space. It had a strong personality and didn't want to admit defeat. It didn't like the tiger eagle, so it naturally didn't think it was worse than the tiger eagle. The tyrannical energy was getting more and more intense, bringing with it a sense of emptiness that Night Sorrow couldn't describe. Obviously, the tyrannical energy was very fierce, so there shouldn't be any other feeling. However, Night Sorrow could feel this strong sense of emptiness. After advancing for a month, Night Sorrow felt that he had advanced hundreds of thousands of miles. However, he felt that the core area of this space was still very far away. Night Sorrow calculated that the Medicine Valley was millions of miles away from the Holy Light Temple and the Thunder Rumbling School. Even if he rode a flying beast, it would still take a few months. This space had a space passage between these two places, which meant that it was at least millions of miles wide or long. In this month, Night Sorrow used the best quality soul condensing pill to cultivate, so his true chi didn't advance much. However, the Myriad Tao Treasure Book's advancement was terrifying, reaching the peak of level 4 of the bone forging stage. On this day, Night Sorrow felt that the surrounding temperature was rapidly rising. The further he advanced, the higher the temperature. Then Night Sorrow saw a world of fire. It was a huge magma lake. This kind of situation made Night Sorrow somewhat happy. He knew that only this kind of special area could possibly produce heavenly materials and earthly treasures. There wouldn't be anything in ordinary areas, just some materials. After receiving Tianyu and the tiger eagle, Night Sorrow came to the magma lake. Chapter 281. Genius remembers love in 1 second/small? We provide you with wonderful novels to read. Looking at the green rocky path that extended endlessly into the magma lake, Night Sorrow hesitated. He didn't know where this green rocky path led to or where the final destination was. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow decided to go in and take a look. Since he was already here, he couldn't leave any regrets, even though the temperature here was already unbearable. After making his decision, Night Sorrow carried his reincarnation spear and stepped onto the green rocky path, heading inside. The heat coming from the bottom of his feet made Night Sorrow extremely uncomfortable, but he insisted on walking forward. As Night Sorrow moved forward, the violent aura weakened and was replaced by surging fire energy. Night Sorrow's silk robe was already rolled up. Sweat flowed down his cheeks and a burnt smell came from his boots. Night Sorrow circulated his true chi and used the mysterious jade spiritual energy in his hands to protect his feet, so that his combat boots wouldn't be burnt and his feet wouldn't be burned. Holding the wine jug, Night Sorrow drank a mouthful when he was thirsty and took a rest when he was tired. While moving forward, Night Sorrow didn't give up on cultivating. The pressure here was even more terrifying than the pressure at Danding Cliff. It was more unbearable than the pressure at Danding Cliff, so it was very suitable for cultivating the Myriad Tao treasured tome. Under the state of cultivation, Night Sorrow moved forward day after day. Other than the green rocky path in front and behind him, there was only the churning magma lake, or rather, the sea of magma. Night Sorrow didn't give up. He knew that there was an end to the sea of magma, it was just a matter of how far it was. After walking day and night, other than increasing his cultivation, Night Sorrow was already numb to other things. On the 7th day of walking, Night Sorrow saw a special scene. A towering volcano sat in the middle of the sea of magma. The bottom of the volcano was made of black and red rocks. As the height of the volcano extended, there were lush green ancient trees. Magma was constantly spewing out from the peak of the mountain, but the distance was quite far. It didn't fall on the volcano and didn't harm the green vegetation. Night Sorrow felt a chill when he arrived at the top of the mountain, or rather, the island. He felt much more energetic. After drinking 2 mouthfuls of wine, Night Sorrow walked towards the island. After taking a few steps, Night Sorrow bumped into a wave of energy. This wave of energy sent Night Sorrow tumbling. Yishang, who was supporting himself on the ground, stretched out his right hand and slowly walked forward. After taking 5 steps forward, Night Sorrow's outstretched hand felt energy. Night Sorrow controlled his body to move forward slowly. He did not dare to collide head-on. As he moved slowly, Night Sorrow's body entered the energy. He entered slowly and the energy did not reject him. Love Gon Little Sake walking in the energy. Night Sorrow was extremely shocked. The energy was so dense that it almost liquefied. The energy was pure and not violent. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to continue exploring, Night Sorrow would have immediately sat down cross-legged to cultivate. It would definitely be several times faster than on Danding Cliff. Original EP version Y^1 released $4. After walking forward slowly for a while, Night Sorrow found a foggy cave entrance. Night Sorrow did not dare to move forward quickly. He was afraid that it would cause a violent rebound of energy. Every step he took was very careful. With such dense energy, if it went berserk, it would definitely tear him to pieces. The further they went, the denser the energy became. When they entered the cave, it wasn't as dark as Yishang had imagined. The light in the cave was very good, and the walls of the cave were full of shiny objects. After taking a closer look, Night Sorrow's heart could not help but quiver. The glowing objects were all crystals. A large number of low-grade spirit stones were shining. Night Sorrow continued forward. The cave passage was not parallel. It extended underground. Controlling his speed, Night Sorrow moved forward slowly. After walking for an hour, Night Sorrow estimated that he had entered the inner part of the island. In other words, he was 10,000 meters below the volcano. However, he had not reached the end. Night Sorrow was not anxious. He was only looking forward to what would happen next. After another hour, Night Sorrow reached the end of the passage. It was a huge cave, a cave in the belly of the mountain. Inside the cave, visible red and white energy spiraled. In the core area were 2 pools. One was a fiery red magma pool. Above the magma pool floated a fist-sized red stone. The red energy came from this stone. Most of it entered the magma pool, and only a small portion floated in all directions. On the other side was a much smaller pool. Above the pool floated a white stone. However, it was smaller, only the size of an egg. Origin Stone. Heaven's Mandate Stone. Night Sorrow's heart shook. These 2 were Heaven's Mandate Stones. There was no need to ask how Night Sorrow knew. Seeing these 2 stones, Night Sorrow was sure that these were the most precious and rare Heaven's Mandate Stones. This was his feeling. Night Sorrow put on the claw glove that the sect had made for him. These 2 Heaven's Mandate Stones were supreme treasures. He was afraid that the energy on them would harm people. Night Sorrow planned to take the Water Attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone first. The Water Attribute was relatively less harmful. At this time, the energy fluctuations could be seen with the naked eye. Night Sorrow was not afraid of the energy suppression. Dodging the ribbon-like energy, Night Sorrow came to the pool where the Water Attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone was. After looking for a while, Night Sorrow's right hand was filled with mysterious jade spirit chi. He slowly reached under the Water Attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone and gently held it in his hand. The moment he touched the Destiny Stone, an image of a surging wave appeared in Yishang's mind. Then there was a small stream, a fast river, a surging river, and the waves of the sea. All kinds of dynamic images kept flashing. Shaking his head, Night Sorrow withdrew his hand. He looked at the Heaven's Mandate Stone in his hand. He knew that the images just now were the evolution of the law of water. Holding the Water Attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone, Night Sorrow's joy was indescribable. He could fulfill his promise to Wu Lingfei and give an explanation to Qinji Tower. Also, he could use the Sikong Chiyu. After taking a deep breath, Night Sorrow took out a jade box and put the Heaven's Mandate Stone inside before putting it into his storage ring. When he lowered his head, Night Sorrow noticed that the water in the pool was not water at all. It was an extremely pure spirit liquid, much purer than the spirit liquid from the medicinal cauldron. Night Sorrow took out 2 wine jars and began to fill them. He could not waste spirit liquid like this. Yishang's wine jugs were very high grade, and they were all made of celadone. After filling 2 jugs, Yishang, who had no empty jugs, took out a jug of wine. When he poured the wine into the jug, he found that the spirit liquid in the pool had disappeared. It had all seeped into the ground. This made him a bit annoyed. At least one jug of spirit liquid had disappeared. After dealing with the water attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone, Night Sorrow looked at the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone. This fire attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone was much bigger than the water attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone. Night Sorrow came to the side of the huge lava pool. When the energy in the air appeared, he jumped up and reached for the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone with his right hand. Very smoothly Yishang managed to obtain the fire attribute Destiny Stone. Looking at the lava that was filled with energy, Yishang could only sigh. He couldn't take that thing. After putting away the fire attribute Heaven's Mandate Stone, Night Sorrow took out his extra Thunder Cry sword and started to dig around the cave. There were all extreme quality spirit stones. Chapter 282. Genius 1 second remember love go/small? I will provide you with interesting novels to read. Night Sorrow was playing hard. He only dug out peak-grade spirit stones and there were very few high-grade ones. After digging out all the peak-grade spirit stones in the cave, Night Sorrow obtained several hundred of them. Seeing that there were no more peak-grade spirit stones in the cave, Night Sorrow took the Thunder Cry sword and started digging along the tunnel. He dug as he walked out. Chapter 6px Original Chapter 6px 2 hours later, Night Sorrow had dug out more than 1,000 high-grade spirit stones. Seeing that there were no more high-grade spirit stones, Night Sorrow wiped the Thunder Cry sword and put it away. The Thunder Cry sword was of high quality, and ordinary weapons would have been chipped and broken if he dug like this. Night Sorrow did not touch the mid-grade spirit stones. 1,000 high-grade spirit stones were equivalent to more than 100,000 mid-grade spirit stones, not to mention the hundreds of peak-grade spirit stones. As he walked, Night Sorrow discovered that the energy in the tunnel had weakened. It was not as dense as before, and the further he walked, the thinner the energy became. After leaving the underground cave and returning to the volcano, Night Sorrow saw that the environment had changed. The lava on the volcano was no longer erupting, and the lush ancient trees were a little withered. Night Sorrow knew that this was because he had taken the Destiny Stone, which had destroyed the energy structure here. The Fire Attribute Destiny Stone contained the Fire Attribute Law, so it formed a lava lake and the volcano was constantly erupting. As for why there were green trees on the volcanoes in the lava lake, that was because of the Water Element Destiny Stone. The Water Attribute Destiny Stone's existence had preserved a green land in a world of fire. Now that it had been taken away, this green land would no longer exist. Night Sorrow searched the small but tall green volcano for 6 hours. He collected many spirit herbs including several hundred void grass and clear void grass. The most valuable spirit herbs he obtained were 2 stalks of yin-yang spirit fruits, which he saw above the cave entrance. Night Sorrow found out that they were Tier 6 treasures after comparing them with the Fey Illustrated Handbook. They were the main ingredient for the Tier 6 elixir pill, the dual polarity pill. After plundering everything here, Night Sorrow planned to leave. How to leave? There was only one limestone path. If he followed it back, it would waste more than half a month. After thinking for a while, Night Sorrow let out the Tiger Eagle and fed it a beast essence pill. He then rode the Tiger Eagle in the direction he planned, even if he did not find a foothold, even if there was a lava lake in front of him. Other people wouldn't dare to do this. Once the flying demonic beast's energy was exhausted and there was no place to land, it would be a dead end. Flying demon beasts wouldn't be able to last long above such a lava lake, but Yishang wasn't afraid. First of all, he had the Origin Spirit Elixir to support the Tiger Eagle's recovery. In addition, he had Tianyu. Even if Tianyu was not used to this kind of high temperature, he could hold on for a while and give the Tiger Eagle time to recover. When he came, he did not know the situation and needed to scout. Night Sorrow did not dare to fly on a demonic beast. Now that he wanted to leave, he did not have so many misgivings. Night Sorrow had been bitterly cultivating on the limestone path. The results of his cultivation were very obvious. His chi had reached the mid-8th level of the core condensation realm and he had reached the peak of the 4th level of the bone forging realm. He was about to break through. If he did not break through, he would not be able to increase his cultivation. This was a volcanic island. There could be danger at any time, so Night Sorrow did not dare to break through here. The Tiger Eagle flew at a very high altitude. This way it could avoid the high temperature of the lava lake. Even so, its speed was not fast. Standing on the Tiger Eagle's back, Night Sorrow had been scouting the situation. Every hour, he would feed the tiger eagle a drop of spirit spring elixir to replenish its energy. Flying while resisting the high temperature was extremely taxing on the tiger eagle. Half a day later, Night Sorrow felt a violent energy. Only when there was not enough fire energy would the violent energy be obvious. Night Sorrow knew that they were not far from the edge of the lava lake. After replenishing the tiger eagle's energy, Night Sorrow controlled it to continue flying. Finally, before the sky turned dark, the tiger eagle flew out of the lava lake's range. Night Sorrow did some calculations. Even if the environment was bad and the tiger eagle flew very slowly, it still flew about 3,000 miles in a day. This meant that the lava lake's range of 5,000 miles might be exaggerated, but it was at least 6,000 to 7,000 miles. Recalling the tiger eagle to rest, Night Sorrow let out Tianyu. Riding Tianyu for a while, he felt that the heat was not as hot anymore. Only then did he set up a shack to rest. His butt had not touched the ground for several days. After sitting down, Night Sorrow felt tired. He also let out the tiger eagle, fed it and Tianyu beast essence pills, and told the two beasts to be vigilant. Night Sorrow planned to rest for a while before making a breakthrough in the Myriad Dao Tome. Not making a breakthrough would delay his progress. After eating some jerky, drinking some wine, and looking at the treasures he had obtained, Night Sorrow began to meditate and cultivate. While Night Sorrow was cultivating, the two of them arrived at the green rock path that Night Sorrow had walked on. If Night Sorrow saw them, he would recognize that one of them was the genius of the Golden Flame sect, Su Yuan. "Cousin, why is the environment here so bad?" Su Yuan asked. Su Yuan's cultivation had improved very quickly. After the Venerable Convention, he had broken through to the core condensation realm. Now he was at the peak of the 5th level of the core condensation realm and had the strength to fight with late-stage core condensation realm experts. Therefore he had also entered the void fiendish space. Don't be afraid of the harsh environment. Remember, only special environments can produce heavenly treasures. If we can obtain the Destiny Stone this time, then our position in the Extreme Heaven Tower will rise, said the man Su Yuan referred to as his cousin. This young man was called Su Wang. When he entered the void fiendish space, his cultivation was at the peak of the core condensation realm. After eating a pill, he broke through to the 4th level of the soul condensation realm. After eldest cousin goes out, he will be able to get the attention of He. At that time he will be the patrol of Tianji Tower, Su Yuan said enviously. You have to work hard too. Let's see how we can get there, Su Wang said as he observed the green rock path. After looking for a while, Su Wang made the same decision as Night Sorrow. They would go in and take a look. Su Wang had his Jin Qi to protect his body, while Su Yuan channeled the power of his sect's ultimate skill, Golden Flame Hand, to his feet to protect them. The two of them proceeded towards the lava lake. Not long after they entered, other people came one after another. In the middle of the night, Night Sorrow raised the cultivation of the Myriad Dao Tome to the 5th level of the Broken Bone Tome. After the Myriad Dao Tome was successfully upgraded, Night Sorrow ate a top-grade core condensation pill to stabilize the cultivation of the Myriad Dao Tome while working hard to cultivate his true qi. After dawn, Night Sorrow got up and drank 2 mouthfuls of wine. He cultivated his spear technique for a while and was ready to continue forward. Now, the violent energy suppression was very strong. Tianyu was not used to it. After communicating with Tianyu was still unwilling to enter the beast-taming space. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.